Welcome to Plays and Parlays. I am your host, Wesley. This is our co-host here, Louisiana T and Mike P. And we're here to just touch on sports, man. You know, talk about sports news, give y'all updates on what's going on, man. Just have a little bit of deep conversations about our feelings on sports and some of the factual things that are actually going on, man. Hey, how y'all doing today?
Smooth, my man. Smooth. Can't complain at all.
Yeah, ready to go.
Absolutely.
Ready to go.
Like I say, I see you over there, T, and with your gear on today, man. How you feeling?
You know, I'm feeling pretty good, man. Not good about the Saints particularly, obviously, because I'm a Houdat for life. But and I'm from New Orleans. Gonna stay a Houdat till I die, man. But you know, we lost Carr this morning. Oof. It is what it is. I hope it's a good season, but I'm not looking too forward to the Saints season. More just NFL, you know, more just excited about the football season than anything coming up.
I got you. Hey, what about you, P? I mean, what's going on with you? How are you feeling about the upcoming sports season? I mean, who is your team? Who do you deal with as far as NFL is concerned?
I mean, it's Cowboys Nation over here. I like the new pickups we got going on. I feel like we definitely gonna have a better year than last year. I'll still be iffy about Dak. You know what I mean? As long as he doesn't get injured or anything this next season, we might come out doing something good. You know what I mean? The new pickup with George Pickens was solid. That was definitely solid. I like him and CD and Dak all together. It's as long as Dak does his thing and doesn't act like a diva this year, we'll do something solid, especially with the pickup with Tyler Booker as well for the line. The offense is looking pretty decent. I can honestly have some type of faith to them because I didn't have faith at all last year. I could say that.
Okay. I mean, to me, Dallas is always one of those teams that I think is supposed to win. They go and they build a great team. They should be more like San Francisco 49ers, but they don't ever turn out that way. You know, San Francisco normally wins. They'll get there. They may not win the Super Bowl, but they're at least going to field a winning quarterback about, you know, kind of why things transpired the way it did in San Francisco. But normally, I don't see this the same exact thing going on for Dallas. I think they normally field horrible teams. They don't make the playoffs. They haven't made the playoffs consistently, but they spend a lot of money.
Right.
And New Orleans, you know, right now, I know you guys are going through a transition period. This is not a knock on you. You know, I last year I bet against you guys pretty much every game. I ain't gonna lie. There might have been a game or two, you know, here. I was like, how about, you know, you guys might have got me a few times and stuff, but I normally bet against New Orleans every single game. I said, Rattler, what's his name? Rattler, whatever. Bet against that guy. He's gonna throw about 114 yards, and that's about it. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and bet against them. They might run the ball decent, but they're going to score about 7 to 11 points, and they're going to lose this game. I think you guys surprised me a couple times. You know what I mean? You hit me a few times messing around with those guys.
I think the only times we probably beat you was when Taysom Hill was playing.
Probably. No joke. Or you guys played somebody who was like, it was a game that was manageable for you. I think you guys might have beat the Raiders. Did you guys beat the Las Vegas Raiders? So. Yeah, I mean, I think you hit me that game. I think I went with the Raiders or something. You guys won damn game out of nowhere. I couldn't believe it.
Don't sleep on Taysom. Taysom is that guy.
Taysom is that guy.
Yeah, he's that guy for sure.
That's how y'all feel?
That man he's everywhere. He play everything. Yeah, he's just an athlete. That's just what it is.
You ask him what position it is. There is no position. Just football player. That's literally it. He could play anything. Line, defense, off. It doesn't matter. He could kick the damn ball if you wanted him to. He could do whatever. I love him.
When he picked up that size and they started putting him at tight end. I like that. That was smooth.
I do too. I feel like that was his position too.
But let's just jump into. I mean, I know we've kind of already been touching on some of these subjects already, but I mean, who do you guys think like improved the most during this past NFL draft that just happened?
I'll let you go first, T.
Yeah, I think it's the Raiders. I think the Raiders are going to have the most improvement over year. To me, I think they got the biggest need in the draft for a team for them, especially. Look, running back, he's going to be a monster. Okay, I think everybody knows what I'm talking about here with GT. Absolute monster. and they got the pickup of the draft from me, because you're talking about a guy that can go into the role, really solidify himself as a starter in this league, and have a really solid career. He doesn't have a quarterback yet, really, in my opinion, that's going to come in and throw the ball 40 times a game. I don't think he has that. So he doesn't have to worry about balls being stolen from him during the game. As far as the running back position, I think he's going to get plenty of touches. So I think that's going to be a big thing for me. And I think he's going to take them to a couple more wins than they did in the previous amount of seasons combined, probably. So I think they're going to be a lot better. They're in a division that's kind of very, very challenging in that division, to be honest with you, obviously, with the teams that they have. I think there's 3 playoff teams coming out of the division anyway. So it's rough to say how good they're going to be, but I definitely think they're going to be the most improved team in the NFL.
Hey, not to stop you, Mike, but let me just say this right here too. What do we think about Geno? Before we get to yours, I mean, you're saying that he's not a very good quarterback. Me and my brother have these discussions all the time. I mean, he's going as far as to call Geno a bum, a bum. You know, a guy who's thrown for over 4,000 yards. I think the past couple years, he called him a bum. I mean, that was hard for me to really take for Geno. I mean, I know Geno has had a tough start to his career, but he's done well over the last few years that he's really been playing here in Seattle. Right. I don't even know if they improved the quarterback by getting who they get, Bradford, who they pick up. I don't think they really. That guy to me, he's a free. What was the name? Darnold, right? Yeah, he's a freeze up artist to me. Yeah, he didn't do very well, and he had probably 2 of the best receivers in the league. He had people to throw to. He just couldn't win big games to me. I don't really know if they improved picking him up over Geno, but he's probably more of a future quarterback. He can you give him a while, he might turn into something, but I don't know. What do you guys think about Geno?
I'll let you hit first.
All right, but Geno is not a top QB. I don't think that at all, but he's definitely not a bum. He's definitely better than most QBs in the game right now. And I feel like last year he definitely proved that, you know what I mean? He's not a bum. You know what I mean? He can handle himself as long as he has the weapons that he can be able to utilize the right way. He'll be able to eat at least good enough to be able to say he's not a bum. Just like you said, he threw 4,000 yards. That ain't a bum. That's not a bum at all. He throws darts. His accuracy is on point. I can actually say that his accuracy be on point. So I'll disagree with that though. I don't think he's no bum at all. He's not top. You know what I mean? He's not the top, but he's like I'll say mid level. You know what I mean? He's not. He can handle himself. That's what I can say. He can handle himself. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I think it's more of a mid-level QB, in my opinion. I know you said he threw for over 4,000 yards. I think he's going into a right situation for him. To be honest with you, I think it's perfect as far as placement for him if they run this right? If they improve on their play action passing and things of that nature and really use GT the way that they should, to where he's going to be – I think GT's going to have over 1,200 yards, 1,300 yards. I mean, obviously defense –
Rookie season?
Yeah, I think they're going to be keying on him a little bit.
I believe it too.
Touches.
If you can key on Genty like that, you think he's gonna? I mean, 1,200 is. I mean, you got 17 games. That's pretty much only that's less like 50 yards a game, pretty much almost. So I mean, he can get that done. I mean, you know, and then I don't know what their passing game is going to look like. I know they got like Bauer over here at tight end. I don't know who else they got as far as receivers are concerned. So I don't know what Geno's going to have as far as weapons, but you know, we'll see.
Get better with his play action, man, because that was his main problem up here. I feel like whenever he had great games, he was able to hide the ball in the belly. He was able to have the right footwork going in the back of the, with his drop backs and everything. I think sometimes his footwork gets him into a lot of trouble that is unnecessary sometimes. Mm-hmm. So I think having a running back to take that kind of pressure off of him is going to be very, very good. I think they're set up for success this year. I really do. I don't think he's a great quarterback by any means, but I do think he's good enough to get them in line to where he can play off of GT, kind of hit those short play action out passes and really kind of take advantage of that. I think they'll be good this year.
Right.
Genty's a beast.
I agree with that as well. They're going to put the heart in the running game for Genty. That's what they're going to do. I feel like what they're going to have Geno do as far as his role, I feel like he's perfect for it. You know what I mean? He's going to do what he needs to do. Most of the time, they're going to be trying to run. But when they do need a pass, he's going to be able to do what he needs to do. I feel like it's going to be solid for them. I don't know who their receiver core is either. But from just that backfield right there, that's solid. Mm-hmm. That is a solid thing. And as long as they do that, what you were saying with the play action and everything like that, if they can utilize that well, they'll be smooth. They'll definitely be smooth. I can see that happening.
So let me ask you, Mike, just to go back to the subject we were speaking about before, who do you think improve the most from this year's draft?
I'll agree with T on the Raiders, but I feel like people are sleeping on the Panthers. They have a lot of bad years, so nobody really talks about them like that. But picking up McMillan from Arizona, their receiver, to help with Bryce, picking up those two edges. I think one was Princely and Scorton, picking up Horn Jr., picking up Trevor Etienne. All of that was solid. I think they picked up a safety as well. I just forget his name. But those were all solid pickups to me. That's something that's going to definitely be able to improve the Panthers just in general. You know what I mean? They're going to definitely have a better year this upcoming season than they did last season and the season before that. They'll be able to do the right things with them. I feel like everybody will be able to, what would you say, be able to correlate and work and be smooth together. You know what I mean? Like that's how I look at it as far as the Panthers. But nobody's really talking about it. You know what I mean? I don't really hear. Actually, I've never heard nobody even say this besides me about the Panthers. So, yeah, I see them really improving a lot more.
I think they jumped from 4th to 2nd just by that, right? I mean, it's crazy in the division with everything happening with the Saints, and obviously you don't know the quarterback situation over in Atlanta. But the fact that I would put them right behind now instead of 4th, they jumped to 2nd right behind Tampa, in my opinion. I think they're right there in the division. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, I think the question is really at the quarterback position. I mean, of course, you got questions all over the place with the Panthers. And like I said, they've bopped me so many times this year. I mean, they've won games that you didn't think they're going to win. The guy they benched Bryce Young at the in the middle part of the year. They benched him. I didn't know if he was going to get his job back or not. I felt like his confidence was being taken from him at that time. But he ended up winning the job back. He had some decent games. He hasn't really proven. He's shown me he can make throws, but he hasn't proven to me that he's a winner. He's going out there in adversity, and he has won some games here and there, but he hasn't done what C.J. Stroud has done. I think a lot of times he's been written off a little bit because of C.J. Stroud, him coming in the same draft and the success C.J. Stroud has had. But right now, depending upon how these rookies do, depending upon how they mesh with the veterans they have on their team, we'll see what happens. I mean, I think they're in a softer division right now, so they do have an opportunity to win. You look at Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield. He's an iffy guy. He had a strong year last year. He's had a strong year last year. I've watched him I think he put up some 400, maybe 500 yards. He killed him last year. He did some stuff last year that I was like, okay, this is who now you understand how teams are called quarterback killers. Like the Browns are a quarterback killer. You know what I mean? Teams like, there's a lot of teams out there that are quarterback killers. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? The Jets quarterback killer. I've seen it happen. Like they send a kid out there in the middle of a storm. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's getting killed, and they blame it on the kid like he's not ready. And so it just really depends to me on how Bryce Young comes out, how that team meshes together, and what kind of coaching that they actually have. So that would be it'll be fun to watch. Definitely.
No, that makes sense. I know you was talking about you've been talking about Camelot. That seems like that's your most favorite pick of the draft. Who you think is going to be the best improvement as far as teams and everything? Which like with what you've been looking at?
The Giants have made some pretty big improvements. I don't know as much about the quarterback position that they have, that the guy who they have at the quarterback position at Dart. I haven't had a chance to watch him play, but the highlights I saw of him, he has a strong arm, big kid. You know what I mean? It's possible. They picked up the kid Carter. I mean, a good, so they made some good picks there, to kind of, I think they picked up a running back as well too in the draft. So they made some decent picks that I'm looking at like, okay, this might help them out. Don't get me wrong. The Giants are going to be crap, because it is what it is. Giants have had a hard time for a long time really making their way into anything, since they've had like 2 good runs that I've known them in my lifetime pretty much. That was with Phil Simms, maybe Hostetler for what the guy's name back in the day. And then again, when they had Eli Manning. And to me, Eli Manning, I won't even consider him a super elite quarterback in my eyes. I know that may sound like a jab, but I don't look at him like that. But I just don't see. I mean, they got rid of Saquon. They're not showing me that they're looking to win right now. You pick up Russell Wilson, you pick up Jameson Winston. You're not showing me that you're looking to win right now at all. And so but at the same time, I think their draft picks, depending upon that confidence level again too. I think a lot of times these depending upon how things go, sometimes these kids lose their confidence when they're faced with a lot of adversity when they first come out. So it's possible that these kids lose their confidence before it becomes time for them to win. But we'll see what happens there. I think, but that's who I would pick, having the the best picks in the draft is the Giants.
No, that makes sense. That's still valid. That's definitely valid as well. Do you know who Quinshon Judkins is?
I don't.
Like running back for Ohio State?
No,
You got to check him out. He got picked up by the Browns as well. I feel like that was a solid pickup for him as well. I feel like he'll be able to eat over there, do his thing and all of that. You should check him out. He's solid. He's definitely solid.
I mean, coming from Ohio State, we normally have some some good running backs. Our quarterbacks don't tend to pan out as well when they get to the league, but I'm obviously I'm an Ohio State fan when it comes to college football, being from Ohio and everything like that. But definitely, a lot of times we don't always get our picks in college. I mean, don't really ever. I mean, defensively, yeah, we get some killers over there. Wide receiver wise, there ain't too many teams touching us right now. We've put out some of the best receivers over the last few years that's come out. But quarterback position, I don't even know a quarterback that's really made an impact from Ohio State over the last 10 years or so. I don't know. I can't call one. Most times I think we have a lot of play action quarterbacks that don't really work out in the NFL. But running back wise, we gave you guys Zeke. We gave you guys some people at the running back position. So I can definitely have some faith in that kid right there. Right. Obviously, my team is Denver Broncos. Obviously, that's my squad. You know what I mean? I feel like we're a defensive team, man. You know what I mean? I feel like that's our specialty right now. We're a defensive squad. I'm hoping that Bo Nix is who he acts like he is. I'm hoping. I don't know if that's going to pan out or not with Bo Nix, but he showed some good glimpses of that he can make it happen for us. But he's only throwing for about 177 yards a game. It makes me nervous. I'm be honest. It makes me nervous when I'm looking at a person like Bo Nix. He's playing and he only can throw for about 100 to 214 yards. He's not doing much more than that unless you're behind by so many points that all he has to do is throw the ball and they don't care because they're in zone. Anyway, that's my one concern about Bo Nix is that he's an older kid. I think he's about 26 years old now. Who knows? 25, 26 years old now. And, he's short. He's undersized, but he may just be a winner. He came in and showed a little bit of heart, yelled at the coach. You know what I mean? But I felt like Sean Payton. I'm like, man, did you just draft him to try to find another Drew Brees? I don't know. But it might. I mean, hey, he won last year. Rookie season, he came in and won, but we got a hell of a defense. I don't know too many people have a better defense than the Denver Broncos right now. You know what I mean? I think we have one of the best defenses in the league. But I feel like so we'll kind of see. I think we're in a tough division.
I feel like Bo definitely has that potential to have a long career with you guys and everything, and actually take y'all somewhere at one point. The development might be a little bit slower, but in my opinion, from what I'm seeing, I feel like he could be somebody that's actually a franchise QB for y'all. In my opinion, how he's moving and what it's going to end up turning into, like the route he is going, it looks solid. In my opinion, I don't see him at least going nowhere no time soon.
Yeah. Okay. I'm hoping he works out. I just feel like we have such a tough division, man. You need a killer at quarterback, man. You got Herbert over here in San Diego. You got fucking Mahomes over in Kansas City. I mean, we're in dogfights with them. Both of those quarterbacks can get you 4,000 or 5,000 yards in a season. They can put up whatever, they can throw 4 or 5 touchdowns. It's possible for them. Both of them are just like that. Herbert, he'll also throw you the interceptions. He'll also make the bad plays, but I think he has a very good coach in Harbaugh who's going to temper all that. And they have a decent running game over there as well too. You know what I mean? So that's my concern about that. It's just we're in a division where it's 3 teams in that division right now that are all playoff teams. Last year, all 3 of them went to the playoffs. How hard is that going to be to repeat? It almost takes someone else getting hurt somewhere else in order for you to make that happen again.
Right.
In my eyes.
No, that makes sense.
So would you guys think about let's look at it like this right here. So what do you guys think about Baltimore right now? What do you guys think? How do you feel like they should play it? I mean, that last year we're getting to a point to where we're seeing the quarterback over there in Baltimore. He's going through every year. Everyone's pumping him up to be, he's won the MVP 2 times now already.
Should be 3.
Yeah, I think he should have won it this year too. I'm not gonna bullshit. I think this is the year he should have won it if he ever should have won it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, do we feel like that team right now is labeled kind of like overrated? Would you label them overrated right now?
No, I wouldn't say that at all.
No.
So they're exactly who they say they are. That's how I look at it. They definitely are nice. And honestly, it's just with them, even in the last playoffs, that was just something simple that just happens to the best of us. You know what I mean? There's going to be some team that's going to make a minor mistake, but that turns into something that's major. You know what I mean? Like that one drop changed the whole thing for them. You know what I'm saying? Like that one drop, and he's the one that always. Oh yeah, and then he's always Mark Andrews is always trying to get the ball. He always wants the attention and everything like that. But when the attention came to him, you kind of folded. You know what I mean? So it's like, other than that, them as a team, them as a collective, no, I don't think they're overrated at all. They're exactly where they say what they say they are. They're nice. They're nice, and they honestly should have went further. They should have won that game, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Well, let's be honest, right? I mean, if you look at that game in particular, because I think that's what we're all judging on based off of recency bias, right? As far as when you look at that team, that's one of the best tight ends in the league, right?
Yeah.
Let's call it what it is. The dude is normally money, right? When it costs to hands, routes, all that stuff. He's so good at what he does. It was 2 drops that lost him the game, right? And plus they still had to get the 2-point conversion, all that stuff. So I mean, there's certain things that were happening there. And the quarterback led them to the win, as far as I'm concerned. I thought he played well enough for them to win plus some. It's just they were playing a team that was arguably better as a team, right? If you look at positions, I think you can maybe put Baltimore better in certain positions. But if you look at who's a better team overall, I think the right team won, right, as far as the Bills last year. If you look at how good he is or how overrated that team is, I don't think they're overrated at all. I think they're more underrated than anything, because everybody puts doubt on them once it comes to the playoffs.
Definitely, right? Especially Lamar. Definitely,
it's because he hasn't. He hasn't proven it. I mean, when you got to the playoffs every single year, they're putting themselves in these positions. I mean, even with what the tight end did. I mean, with the fumble and then the drop, they had still already kind of gotten themselves in a hole, dug themselves into a hole, and you have a beast in the backfield. You got 2 basically 1,000-yard backs. You got your quarterback and you got your running back. You know, I mean, so like there's no reason for you to be the game that you should play should be a game like a clock game, pretty much. Everything should be able to be, you first play, I'm running the run. I'm running I'm running my running back Henry off top. I'm going to pick up a few yards running Henry, maybe throw something, on the second down, and then get my first down with Henry again. There's just no way they should be getting in the holes they get into and not able to move the ball like they had a problem with in the playoffs last year. I felt like.
Yeah, I thought that was bad, man. I thought their game plan was bad coming into the Bills game, to be honest with you. Looking back on it, you're like, man, why aren't you trying to control the clock more? Like you're the better team at controlling the clock. The Bills want to be quick hitters. They want to score quick. That's the only way they're trying to keep up with KC. You know what I mean? Exactly. So the only way they beat them, I thought they took themselves out of the game so early. To me, that's why I look at Lamar and I'm like, man, that's not on Lamar. Lamar played a hell of a game in that game. He played good enough to beat any team in the NFL in that game, in my opinion. He was the best player.
I think he threw an interception early.
Yeah, but he was still the best player in the league last year, in my opinion, right? And if you look at how they lost that game, it was coaching.
Yeah, I mean, and when you got that kind of a team built for you, I think that they're going to make because I think what's the running back Zay Flowers?
Yeah,
Zay, I think he out last year during that game as well. He gotten hurt late in the year last year in the playoffs last year, right?
I believe
and they don't. Yeah, and they don't really have a deep receiving core. They always go pick up some old dude and try to bring him back. I think they just picked up Hopkins this year. Yeah. Like what are we picking up Hopkins for? Go get you some young little dudes, man, who can run and try to get open, or some tall guys who he can kind of throw the ball up to and they can go get it. Get him some people to work with. I think they picked up the LeJontay Wester. I think he'll be a good solid receiver for him, because that kid right there, he runs great routes. He's from Colorado. I know I always tout Colorado, but I think Colorado probably had the best receiving core in football last year. Not to jump around from where we are, but and so for them to pick him up, I think that was a great pickup right there for him. But we'll see what he can do with a decent. But he needs a big receiver. Both of these two guys are small. Zay is small, and so is LeJontay. DeAndre is just he's done in my book. He's finished. His career.
He's hands. That's it. You just have a sure-handed receiver at that point.
I got you. But you think he can get open in the league? I mean, what they got going on right now?
I think he can create enough space. I mean, he's proven enough in his career where he can create the tough catches in the matchups, especially the tough, because he's going to have the hardest guy on him at all times.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's that guy, right? So I feel like if Baltimore went out and got themselves a speed receiver, a really, really, and I'm talking like different level speed, not just what they have now. Like if they were to go out and trade for somebody like Shaheed on the Saints or something like that, that team would be almost unstoppable, because then you'd have an intermediate, a short. You got Andrews going out into the flat or up the middle on a skip post, and then you have Shaheed just running just straight 9 routes every route. I mean, who are you going to stop at that point? Because then you have to go back. And I mean, they're missing that one key thing on Baltimore, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't even know if they drafted did they pick up a receiver in the draft? Did you even go after anybody? I don't know. I'm not even sure who they even drafted this year. I have to look that up as well. And so
they're always the best team during the regular season, though, man. If you really look at it, you're just like, damn, that's the team that you have to beat. And then once the playoffs come, it's a different team completely than you saw, like different game plan, everything, just shambles.
Yeah, I mean, the first few couple games, they actually I was like, oh, you guys came out, you did your job. Then you want to play against, get in against Buffalo, and it's like, I mean, I understand Buffalo's not a pushover. I mean, so they got a great team. They got a great quarterback over there. They got a solid team all the way around the board. So I can't take anything away from them, but I felt like they should have won that game. That was your game to lose. And you put yourself in a situation to where you had to basically you had to score the touchdown plus get a 2-point conversion. So it was like, can I even blame it on Andrews? Yeah, of course I'm gonna blame it on you because you fumbled the ball. You fumbled the ball in the open field. When you guys would have been right there. That would have put your team up ahead at that point in time. That when he made the fumble, that would have put your team ahead. That would have made it so now Buffalo has to play a different kind of a game. Period. That kind of puts you guys in a situation where if you can stop them, now you can run the ball. You can do something different. Then he drops a pass right in the end zone, man. I almost felt like he might have. That killed me, man. I bet on those guys and everything. I was sick. I was sick with that game. I was like, he just lost my little funky ass. You know what I'm saying? I was mad about that one. I ain't gonna lie.
I want the guy to win a Super Bowl, man. Like I want him to win a Super Bowl.
He has to.
So he's that guy to where I'm like, man, what if you look at like history of football and you're like, damn, that guy would be a much better legacy if he would have a ring or anything like that. That's the main guy I look at, to be honest with you, at the top of that list.
He needs one. He needs a ring, man. And so
he will have one before the end of his career. He will at least have
so, man.
At least I believe he will. There's no way I can't see him not having a ring. Like I really can't. I can't. But I mean, we can though because he don't got one yet. You know what I mean?
I can see it happening, man. Because he just, I mean, for some reason, it's like, man, they're like it's every year there's something. Every year. I mean, before they were like, oh, he just lost. He didn't have it. He can't. This year he put it all together. Now imagine the stress is going to be on him next year. Now it's like, that's even more on your helmet. That's even more on your hat when stuff like that happens. It's not easy for a person to bounce back when everybody's whispering in your ear that you can't win the big game. You can't even get he hasn't even been to the Super Bowl yet.
He can honestly
that's the hard part.
He can honestly be used to that at this point, though. That man's been going through that since he got drafted. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't nothing new. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Lamar is comfortable right now. Lamar is on power right now. You know what I mean? Lamar is doing, he comfortable. He know what he's doing, and he know he gonna be nice. He know it's not, I feel like he knows he's mentally strong enough now to believe and know that he's not the problem. It's not his fault. You know what I'm saying? He's doing everything he possibly can for the Ravens. Now, I'm not saying it's just certain players. It's just all as a team. They need to be able to work better, just like what you were saying. They need to be able to strategize better as far as like, the clock management that you were saying and everything like that. But Lamar is doing his thing, and I feel like he believes that now. He doesn't that talk doesn't really bother him, in my opinion. I feel like he's comfortable in the league right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's Lamar. I really don't even think it's the offense, to be honest with you. I think Baltimore used to pride itself on defense, and it just disappeared, in my opinion. They can't stop running water, as far as I'm concerned, over there anymore.
It's the legacy. Right. It's the legacy they once had. Once Lewis left, and he left the mantle to what's the guy's name? The linebacker came in right after him. He left it to him, and there was nobody after them to kind of leave that legacy of that smash mouth kind of, you know what I mean? There's nobody, and so I think that's where they've lost that too. You're correct about that one, man. But let's see. We're gonna have to see if they can get it back. I want to jump into a subject here that's kind of been talked about,
Sure.
Extensively by everybody already, and kind of been, mulled over. But
oh, where are you going?
let's talk about let's talk about the Shedeur Sanders debacle, I like to call it. I felt like it was a debacle. I'm sure you guys have your own feelings about it. What do you guys feel about where he went in the draft, and do you think it was warranted? Let's start with you, Mike.
I would say him going that far down, I don't believe that's where his talent is set at. I feel like it was more so something deeper, between the lines. A lot of people, it's not unnoticed that the league doesn't really kind of really like the attitude of Deion Sanders, period, point blank. It has something to do with Shedeur as well, with his attitude. There's a thin line between confidence and cockiness, and he's also just a self-entitled person. It was really just his personality that I feel like made him drop so low, and just being who his father is. You know what I mean? He has the talent. He broke records, just like as you were saying and everything. He broke records and all of that at his school. But as far as who he thinks he is, I don't feel like he's proved enough to be able to say these type of things that he does say. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he definitely should have went higher. But it's just his mentality. You know what I mean? It's just his mentality. He's too cocky. He believes that he's that guy. It's nothing wrong with it. It's nothing wrong with it at all. You're supposed to believe like that. You know what I mean? But there's a way of doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's not as far as not being like an asshole, I guess you could say.
Quick comment check real quick. He said, Chad says Lamar better hurry up before Jalen Milroe takes over the league. Jalen Milroe sucks. But I mean, I'm not knocking him, but I think that kid's crap. You think I'm tripping?
No, not you. I think
Jalen Milroe.
He ain't taking over the league. He ain't taking over the league, but he's solid to me. He ain't that bad though. He ain't like that bad.
Oh man, he couldn't even. If you can't hack it in Alabama, man, you in Alabama, you got your linemen are all about 370 a piece. They can run and block, pass block. You pretty much got it all there. You don't have to worry about anything. You can take all day long to throw the perfect pass, and you cannot complete. He's doing the 5 for a 21 thing that the guy in what's his name and that Colts is doing. Anthony, what's his name?
Richardson.
Anthony. Yeah. He's doing what he's doing over there. How are you doing this? And you got doesn't they have the young kid down there too, down in Alabama, that young wide receiver, the really good kid? There's no way. And so that, but anyway, no, I hear what you're saying about Shedeur. Mike, you want to finish up your comment? You wanted to jump in and
more of the story comments there real quick. He has the talent. He has the talent. I definitely think he can do something. I don't really know what they're going to try to do as far as the Browns situation. It was kind of like a business decision as far as having all them QBs. They're really trying to figure out who they really want for real. You know what I mean? Whoever they end up not picking is who they're going to get rid of. That's how I really look at it. But as far as the moral of it, of him dropping so low, I think it's just his mentality. You know what I mean? Just him, and then, of course, who his pops is. That's really all it is. Because he has that talent, but just the mentality, that throws everything off. That definitely throws everything off, because Travis Hunter played for the same squad. Travis Hunter didn't hit no championships or nothing with Colorado or nothing, but he still, it's the way he moves with things. You know what I'm saying? The only, like I said, the only problem that you have with Travis Hunter that people say about him is with his little shorty.
Yep.
That's pretty much it. You ain't really hearing nothing bad about his mentality and his movement.
I would say injuries are but I know what you mean as far as like, okay.
As far as the reason why he went up so high, of course, his versatility of being able to play both sides, but that mentality that mentality takes you a long way. The humbleness takes you a long way. Them interviews, what you say in them interviews is going to decipher how early or how far you gonna go. That's how I look at it. And it's sad to say that, because it's football, it's talent. That's what you need to do. You just need to play football. But on a professional level, from a professional standpoint, it matters.
Confidence matters, I think, at the quarterback position too. But I'll let you go ahead and go, T, before I jump in and say what I'm going to say. But I definitely appreciate your comments, Mike.
I think this is a humility check as far as future draft picks, in my opinion. If you're going through a draft, go through it at the best of your ability. Don't just take off because you want to go to certain teams or whatever the case is. It's not guaranteed, right? And I think that's what we saw this year with that aspect of it. I mean, if you look at Shedeur, right, and we've talked about this multiple times, I think, but Shedeur, to me, if you look at his totality of work, right, there's certain things that he needs to work on. He takes really unnecessary sacks. He gets hit a lot, and that's because he holds on to the ball a shit ton too long, typically. because he's trying to make a play. And that's not necessarily a bad thing at the stage that he's at, but that doesn't necessarily translate into a starting ready role into the NFL. And I think if you're a first round draft pick, you're supposed to be basically a starter at that point, or somebody who's at least competing for a starting job, right? So I think that nullified him out of the first round. So to me, I had him as an early second round draft pick. And if you even look at his college career, was he the best player on his team? Was he the reason that they were winning games? I would say I would put Travis Hunter above him in that aspect. So if you take Travis Hunter off of that team, is Shedeur as good as he was?
Can I ask you this though, real quick?
Yeah, please.
All right. From my opinion too, I agree with Wesley with this. Colorado had one of the best receiving cores.
Yeah.
Who was throwing to them though? You know what I mean? Like
I agree with that. But my thing is, again, like if you look at it, they're having to throw the ball a shit ton, right, at Colorado.
Why? But why? Why are they having to throw the ball so much in Colorado?
Because they suck. They can't stop anybody. They don't have a defense. They're not ready yet.
And the run game.
Yeah.
And they didn't have a running game too, so that also takes away. That also makes it so that I'm going to have to throw more and hold on to the ball more because everyone can tee off on my throw. Now you're not gonna stack the box. You're gonna go into your nickel, go into your and make it a lot harder for me. So I'm gonna have to hold on to the ball longer. So if I have any semblance, I think their leading rusher had like 300 yards. Something like You get what I'm saying? So and so that's why he was talking to Cam Ward one time and he brought that fact up, like, hey, like we can't run the ball. If I could run the ball, then it changes the whole field for me at that point in time.
It takes off so much pressure, right? And that's the thing.
Absolutely.
I think so much pressure. And I think he handled himself very well in college. And I'm not saying he's a bad player. I think he is a very, very top prospect, right, in this year's draft. I think he should have went way higher than he went. I've told you this before, right? Mm-hmm. To me, it becomes more about the problem of the Sanders family. Right, as far as the cockiness that you touched on earlier, Mike, as far as kind of that thin line, right, between cockiness and confidence. I think some of those interviews with the teams, at least from what it sounds like, at least with some of the stuff that everybody's saying on TV right now, that basically just didn't go well in those interview processes because he felt like he was above that certain team or he was above certain things as far as practicing or things of that nature, right? Or he wasn't actually including himself in some of the activities as far as the combine, stuff like that. So, I mean, there's certain things.
Cam Ward didn't either. Cam Ward didn't either.
What's that?
I can say he's no Cam Ward, but at the same time, I do think he's as good as Cam Ward. I do think I think Cam Ward is better than him. Like, as far as like strength of arm strength, as far as like, even maybe a little bit more with speed even, but I think Cam Ward makes good decisions too. He's a good decision maker too. I can't take that away from him. He also played on a much better team.
I don't think he's even close to Cam Ward, if I'm being honest right now.
Yeah, I don't either.
Right now, I don't think he's close. And the main reason I'm saying that is just because of competition level as well. But I will say Shedeur, in my opinion, has a higher ceiling based off of what I've seen with Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward's closer to his ceiling at this point. But that's how far apart they are, too. I just think Cam's ready day one. I don't think Shedeur's ready day one. I think he takes unnecessary sacks. I think you're going to see the necessary rookie things taking place with him. That's why I really like the situation he's in right now, to where he has to compete for a starting job, right? I don't think he's had to compete for so long. You haven't seen that competition version of Shedeur in years. I want to see.
He started on everything he's ever done. Yeah, that makes sense for sure.
I want to see the competition come out.
He said he should have took off his headphones. That they were still okay.
Yeah,
he said basically, but I mean, this is what I'm going to say. I think we've gotten a lot of reports about him that are, from anonymous people who are saying different things. We don't know, but I think confidence is reigns supreme when you're a young prospect, or even in the NFL as a whole. We've watched so many young quarterbacks come out of college and be broken. Immediately. You look at, the Jets, they've broken so many good, strong, college quarterbacks. You look at the Browns, they've done the same thing. Then guys leave those teams. Look at Baker Mayfield. Look at, Geno Smith. Leave these teams, and they later on down their career, they gain that confidence back. They get a better understanding, and they're able to play. Bryce Young may end up being a victim of this. Who knows? Jaden McDaniel, he could have ended up being, but he's he's an elite level quarterback from what we've seen in the first season that he's played. But what I'm gonna say about Shedeur is, look at his college career. He played for he went to a HSBCU and started day one as a freshman, started, ended up taking their team to a championship, a SWAC championship.
And just to hit on that real quick, that's not because of who his dad was. He was that good. He was good enough to start on that team. That was not because of his dad. I just wanted to.
He was drafted by Power 5 schools. He was drafted by Alabama. He could have went there. He went to kind of help his dad. They built something. He basically helped build his father and himself. I mean, not as much as himself, but his father up into the point to where he's at a school like Colorado, and they're making the kind of money they're making. Okay, I mean, and at the same time, he goes over to Colorado, which at the time was in the Pac-12. We're playing against, I mean, strength of schedule would not have strength of schedule to Pac-12. I don't think that Miami's strength of schedule would touch what it was in the Pac-12 when they went last year, year before last, when they had, the Oregons and all the teams they had that were ranked strong teams. That
was it.
What did you say?
Miami had Clemson. That was it.
You get what I'm saying? So then, that first year, and then he had a crap line, at the same time. He's had a crap line for 2 straight years. He's known that he was going to take the big hits during the games. The confidence to me proves out when you look at how many games he came back to win. That's what you need the confidence for. You need the confidence when people will tell you you're not as good as your dad. You need that kind of confidence to say, yes, I am, and I'm going to show you who I am. And there's not a lot of kids who like move out of their father's shadow. I think he's going to be one of them. I think the Browns would be remiss not to get rid of a Flacco in order to keep Gabriel and Shador. Because you better keep at least 3 or 4 quarterbacks, because we've seen you guys get decimated at quarterback last year, because you don't have a very good team. So everyone's teeing off on your quarterbacks all game long. I feel like he's a day one starter. I know this may be me being, I think he had like a 74% completion percentage. The kid's completing passes. He went out and he helped GM his team by picking up a Jonte Wester, Will Shepard. They had the most receivers drafted out of any school. This is Colorado, man. This is a team that went 1-11. And so to have the most receivers drafted, and 2 of those, at least one of those receivers, he went out and got himself. That's a Jonte Wester. And so this kid kind of understands. I think he's been playing pro-style offenses his entire life, pretty much, being brought up from a kid, playing in pro-style offenses. So, it's just not a lot of people who I think are mentally as ready as he is and understand the game. He's just one of the best. He threw for over 4,000 yards last year. The kid's good. I just don't feel like there's a lot of people who are proven to be better than he is under the situations that he's been in. And so that's my personal opinion. I think that if he gets the opportunity, I don't know with Cleveland, because Cleveland's crap, but I think he gets the opportunity. I think he's going to show out. Me personally. I was
hoping I got to be honest with you. I'm hoping he doesn't make the team in Cleveland, just so he goes to a better squad, to be honest with you, and has a better opportunity there. Because like I said, I really don't think Cleveland wanted him to begin with, if I'm being honest. They already got a quarterback earlier in the draft. I just don't think it sets up for them.
Why that?
After he didn't go early, I thought the Steelers would have picked him up. Honestly,
right.
I really believed the Steelers were going to pick him up at one point. They went right over him. I was like, all right, then I guess that's that.
We were in the middle of the Friday picks during the draft. Whenever we were talking about it, and the Steelers were picking, I was like, oh, he's going right now, and he didn't get picked. We were all so confused, man. I'm like, that's a perfect fit almost. So it's just
Jalen Milroe went over him. Jalen Milroe.
That's sad.
This is collusion in my eyes. This is collusion. It shows collusion. Then you go to the team that his dad tweeted and said, "My son, if I was a quarterback, I would never want to play for this team." This is intent. That show. You already got 2 quarterbacks. Then you draft another one. Then you pick him. You wait. They made you take that draft pick. They made the league. I feel like this shows collusion throughout the league. People talk about even with his confidence type level. I'm like, man, you got people who have way worse problems than what he's had. People who've probably been arrested, all kinds of stuff that they're bringing baggage, like real clear baggage, not confidence level, not your family. You look at Eli Manning when his parents was like, his dad said, my son's not playing for this team. He said that. They sat there and is that not the same thing? Exact same thing. You got people.
There's a difference between a dad saying it and the son, and a dad saying it. In that situation, it was just the dad saying it. Now
they both said it. Or no, you didn't see Eli. Eli said it too.
Eli was like, "I'm not." Fine. But Eli still got drafted number 1.
I understand what you're saying, but that's the league like allowing that to be fine with them. They even make him put on their hat. They make all the players come in there and they put the hat on, the whole nine. They let him just hold the jersey up, but he was sitting there like, I don't even, Eli to me is not an elite. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but I don't look at Eli as like he was an elite level quarterback. I've watched him so many seasons go 8-8 and all this other stuff. And in reality, a lot of times he won the Super Bowl. He helped win it, but that defense, they had a killer defense every year. And so that to me is kind of like that was more. Eli wasn't Peyton in my eyes. He was good, but he wasn't Peyton.
Right? Everybody has to play their role on an NFL team if you think about it. Like some of these like everybody bitches at Brock Purdy over at the 49ers. Like, oh man, if they had a better quarterback, they'd be better. I don't agree with that assessment. I'm gonna be honest with you, because you have a defense, you're riding on your defense, you're riding on a running game, you're riding on a game manager, right? As quarterback, you need that guy in that spot. If you have a different quarterback, you're not going to be as good probably. It takes away from your game plan. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain players that you're looking at as far as intangibles, things of that nature. Are they going to be more of a game manager? Are we going to hand the ball off 20 times? Can we use our running back? Can we use our receiving core going in the slot? Can we use our tight end more? Does this guy comfortable throwing to the outside compared to the inside? There's so many things that go into the quarterback room whenever you're talking about different things. Can this guy read a defense specific? Shador can read a defense, right? There's certain players that are coming out in this year's draft. I don't think they can. Milroe, prime example. Milroe can't read a defense to save his life. I'm going to be honest with you. The dude just throws to the number one receiver every single play. Number one and number two, he does not have a distinctive route tree going through. If you really go back, and watch Alabama, the dude literally throws it to number one or number two every single play. He does not go through his progressions. If you look at a guy like Eli coming out of college, he was going through those progressions, so he was starter ready day one. If you look at Shador he keys on certain players and he buys time for them to get open. You're not going to be able to do that in the NFL landscape. Okay, it's different. The speed is different. The speed of the game's different. Those linemen are coming at you with 4.6 speed. It's not going to be like in college where they're coming at you at 5.1, 5.2. You're talking about the best athletes that are coming out of college coming at you running the exact same speed that you are. He can't buy that time that he's buying in college. He's still going to get hit. He's going to get hit quicker. Can he go through those progressions faster is the key. So I think going to a key team speaks to that. I don't think Cleveland's the key team for him. If you look at Eli went to a key team for him as far as New York, right? I don't think he would have done as well over in San Diego at the time, because you're talking about the Chargers team that ended up with Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers is arguably a better quarterback if you look at them and really size them up together with intangibles. I think all of us
and the numbers and everything. Yeah, definitely.
Right? He's the better quarterback, but who had the better career? If you really talk about it, Eli did.
Who had the better
fit for him? You know what I mean? So that has a lot to do with it, man. Is the fit, cohesiveness of the team that you're talking about. There's certain things that are going into it that I just aren't really. They're not measuring up for me with Shador with certain teams in the league. I think he has to go with a team that can handle the cockiness, that can handle the attitude, that can handle the personality. Like we were talking about earlier with Dallas, right? The Cowboys. I think the Cowboys would be a perfect fit for a guy like Shador, right? Because you're coming in with another basically attitude, technique-wise. The guy's different. He's ready to go. I'm not saying he's not, but he needs to be in the right situation, and I don't think he's finding that right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think that given opportunity, I mean, I like his intangibles, man. I think that, I mean, me personally, I've watched him play with 4 different receivers, and he's worked his way through. I mean, even if you bring in Draylon Miller, he was another, young. I think he was a freshman last year. He did his thing last year with him as well. I mean, I think that it will be. I think if the NFL gets out of their feelings, because that's what it really is, man. You got cocky people across the board, man. Wide receivers are some of the most cocky players, quarterbacks at the same time. Look at Hasselbeck. Give us the ball and we want the ball and we're gonna win. I mean, you got Baker Mayfield planting the flag, and you got all these guys doing their dances. Come on now. Then you got what's the guy? What's the kid from where did he play for? Oklahoma? Who was it? Who did the guy who went to Cleveland? The young kid who ended up being drafted. I forget his name right now, but same time, he's doing the money thing. Johnny Manziel. Confidence, man. Yeah, man. Confidence, man. Everybody cockiness at it to a degree, because he didn't ever read his books. I mean, you got the guy. Remember the story they said about what was the quarterback who got drafted to the Raiders a while back, number 1, ended up being a bust.
Jamarcus Russell,
big quarterback, Jamarcus Russell. They said he gave him a tape. Basically, said he didn't even watch the tape. It was a blank tape.
He didn't know film. He never studied at LSU. He threw it to one receiver. They told him who to throw the ball to in the huddle. Legitimate.
And so, I mean, we have all these different people who are nowhere near the type of, had type of character. This kid had no off-field problems, nothing. We didn't hear about anything bad about him. Oh, he's wearing a chain. Oh, he has money already. Oh, I mean, basically, I think that's what scares him more than anything else is that, oh, he doesn't need us, but he works harder than anyone else. Yeah, that should tell you a lot about who that person is. That should tell you that they want to win. I want to be good because I'm working so hard, and I already kind of have a good situation, a good home family life. You don't see that a lot of times where you see a kid who's comes from money ends up being a football player or working out in a situation where he doesn't necessarily have to be in this situation. And that speaks volumes about who he is, how he's getting out there and he goes. But anyway, I think that given the right situation, man, I think dude's going to be a beast. That's just my personal opinion.
The right situation. He's got to be in the right situation, man. He has to be with somebody who can have his back at all times, not care about the mentality, the attitude.
Go the Cardinals. He go the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I think his brother. The Cardinals still got that faith in Kyler, though.
What'd you say?
They still got that faith in him. They're not giving up on him yet. Not just yet. They still
Kyler Williams is crap. I don't deal with him.
Kyler Williams.
I don't even like.
He has a ceiling that's already been hit.
Yep. I don't even like betting on him.
Shador's brother's going to start before him, though.
Yeah, for
sure. Shiloh start before Shador?
You talking about Shiloh?
Mm-hmm.
He just locked in a 3-year deal. He's going to definitely be getting some time. He definitely just locked in that 3-year deal.
I think he's going to have the quicker career than his brother is, for sure.
Definitely.
I mean, and it's sad because in reality, this is just my opinion. I mean, that kid is ready to play right now. There's so many quarterbacks who they shouldn't even be playing right now. They shouldn't even be getting an opportunity to play. This kid is ready, man. I just mark my words. I'm not saying that. You know, we all know you're going to go through the rookie kind of, you're going to get beat up the first few times you play. You're going to go through that. It happens. You're going to have one good game, then a game that's just horrible. And next week, they're going to talk about you like the worst they talked about, Jesus. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I really feel like, and I'm not even saying it has to be a perfect situation. Just let the kid have an opportunity to play. He's going to be a gamer.
Repeat what you said, your mic went out.
Shiloh's a gamer. He
Repeat what you said. Your mic went out.
I said, I think he's going to be a gamer. You know what I mean? Can you hear me? Yeah, I said, I think that Shador is going to be a gamer. Given the proper opportunity, he's going to be a gamer. But I think Shiloh, is also he's one of those people who will crash out for you. He'll run into a brick wall to try and prove that he is who he's supposed to be. I think Shiloh's that person right there.
Shiloh
I like
goes
him
for
as well
the team,
too.
Though, and that's the difference between the two. I think.
Yeah, definitely. He wasn't even worried about being drafted. He was worried about Shador getting drafted. He didn't even think about himself at all. He was sitting here, holding his brother head up. You know what I mean? Making sure he don't lose that sense of confidence that he does have. You know what I mean? Like that right there is more. It's a self-attack. You know what I mean? That shows that you're gonna do something right with the team, whatever team does pick you up. In my opinion,
he's started very quickly.
When did confidence become? Even a bit of like cockiness about yourself. When did that become a bad thing? When did we start like looking at that as negative?
Look at the era we in. Look at the era we in. The era is we in is soft. That's just what they think about these type of things more. Back then, you could clothesline somebody in football back in the day. You could do these type of things. You could hurt somebody. Like Ray Lewis would not make it in today's game. You get what I'm saying? Like these type of players, it was definitely more rugged. It was more harder. It's not that no more. They care about your public image and all of these type of things. Now it's who you are. If you're gonna be able to make money as far as being likable, you know what I mean? These type of things. Not a lot of people were even worried about that. They were just trying to play football. That's different now. You know what I mean? So now a sense of confidence, like how you're looking at it, right? Like how you looking at it, right? The sense of confidence. Now it comes off as arrogant to people. You know what I mean? They don't look at it as the confidence that you're saying. You know what I mean? What you're saying is facts, but that's not how they looking at it. You know what I mean? They looking at it like you're cocky, you're an asshole, you just ignorant. You know what I mean? On how you move and what you say. I don't know. It's just what it is now. That's just I don't know. You got to be able to adapt to it, I guess.
I think players used to be quiet coming out of the draft and more humble coming out of the draft, to be honest with you. And now recently you're seeing a lot of them not a lot, but I think you're seeing some key players that rightfully so, to be honest with you, some of them very earned, in my opinion, as far as cocky attitudes, coming out and saying, hey, look, I'm going to be this guy coming out of the draft. I'm going to be that guy for this team kind of thing. Normally that would be construed as confidence. But I think the fact that it's happened so much recently, and then you're seeing a lot of bust come out of those situations, I think Shador is a factor in that. And that's why he had that dip, is because of that too, is because of it's not just him that you have to think about. It's everybody with his attitude that has come out of the draft, right?
What if they John Elway? We've watched John Elway. John Elway did the same thing. He told, I think it was Indianapolis Colts, I'm not playing for you. And if you pick me, I'm going back to college and I'm gonna play baseball, or I'm gonna go into the draft to play baseball, whatever. We've seen this before a lot of times, you know, and it's not
when
really.
I say this about Shador's attitude, that's not the major factor. Like I say it because that's the reality of it with him and his personality.
Mm-hmm.
But it has everything to do with Deion. That's all it has. That's all it has something to do with. You know what I mean? That's the only thing about it. He could be playing. Me and you were talking about this before he even got drafted. When you asked me where do I think Shador going, I thought he was going top 3, top 5. You know what I mean? I didn't think he was even finna go to even the second round. That's what T was saying. You know what I mean? I thought he was gonna go real early because in a sense, the way he is as far as even the money, because most people in the league, most of these owners and all of that, they're worried about the money and everything that's gonna come with it. The what do you call it? The residuals and everything that's coming in it. All of that, the income. He gonna bring that in. Shador gonna bring that in, even with him not starting, even if he don't start at all for the Browns. He gonna probably have the most highest selling jersey on the Browns, even though he's not playing. You know what I mean? It has something to do with Deion. Deion's been unlikable to these people for a long time. He's been like that even before I was born. Come on now, like that's just what it is.
What is Deion now, right? Let's talk about that real quick. So what is Deion's position? He's a head coach.
Yeah,
right.
But and he's building a new.
And he's coached him for years now, correct?
Right.
So my thing, if I'm a GM, if I'm a head coach, not even a GM, if I'm a head coach in the NFL, and I see this kid coming, and I know who his dad is, and I know his dad has a great football mind, all that stuff. Like Deion's a genius when it comes to football. Let's be honest; he's very, very good at this sport.
Right.
With knowledge and everything. I mean, he turned a team that was 1-11 and won 8-9 games. Like, dude's really good at what he does.
Right.
You're gonna have some sort of thing if you're a head coach in the league that says in the back of your brain, and this probably had a lot to do with it, to be honest with you, to where you're looking at it and going, if Deion's around, my job is in jeopardy to some sort of degree. Okay, and I'm not saying that's should be a main reason, but I guarantee you that was a thought process that went through it. Because head coaches in this league, they're not solidified, a lot of them, right? They're first year, second year, third year, whatever the case is, rebuilding in typical cases. If you're talking about like Cleveland, somebody like that, they change a coach every year. So if you're a coach at one of these teams that has a shot at Shador, you're like, do we really want to get this guy? My job's in jeopardy game 3 or 4 kind of thing.
Right.
So I think that has a lot to do.
I don't think Deion's wanting to go to the pros. I think there's too much risk in him going to the pros in order for that, because his attitude doesn't translate to pro ball. He's a different kind of a coach. He's a college coach. He's like, you're not wearing this in here. You're doing this. You're doing this. You're doing. Pro players that are making all this money. I mean, college players are going to be making some good money too. You know, right? They're already starting to. But pro players that are making this kind of money are not going to want to listen to him. They're not going to want to hear what he's got to say. So I don't think that was the big thing about it. I think it was more of a, you know what? We're going to show you. First of all, we can't have Deion having 2 of the top picks. That would be huge for Colorado as a whole, as being a college that kids want to go to because they can get you drafted high. They don't have, they wanted to send his son through the debacle and wanted to send his program through it as well too. Because you think about it, man, they already tried to. They didn't want him being who he is on the college level right now. Imagine if he becomes this kind of, now he has power. I'm dictating where these kids are going to go. They're all playing for me. They don't want him having that kind of power, because Deion, when he did have that kind of power, he showed you.
In a sense, he still does, though. You know what I mean? Like, that didn't change nothing with Shador going that far down. There's still kids that's trying to go to Colorado just because of what they already seen with what happened. You know what I mean? Like, that's not changing nothing. They can try. And that's why I was saying that it is all about.
I don't think they're going to stop going there anyway, if you think about it, because the fact that what is everything everybody's talking about from the draft? everybody's talking about Shedeur, right? The
Yeah.
guy that went fifth round.
Either way, he's still gonna be talked about.
Yeah, exactly.
The ratings on the show was higher than it was, higher than ever for those late round, picks because of that. I mean, just to me, it just didn't make a lot of sense. I was really dismayed by that. It kind of shows the NFL in another light to me, but I've kind of already seen it on number.
Sure.
Some people even believe that. All right, making sure you wasn't talking. Your mic keep going in and out. But some people even believe that they made Shedeur go so far down so people can keep watching the draft. Like some people even believe that as well, because most people only watch the first round and that's that. They don't watch nothing else after that, and the rest they just get the news on like Instagram, whatever, social media. You know what I mean? But you're watching it now because now you're anticipating when is Shedeur going to get drafted. You know what I mean? It looked like it was just a marketing move above all. You know what I'm saying?
No, I definitely understand that. I definitely do understand that. But it just, to me, I mean, I don't want to dwell on it for too long. But I felt like that was just to me, it was almost like spitting in the face of everything that they've accomplished over there and were able to do. Plus, if you're going to pick up, go ahead.
Plus, I think if you look at the draft in general, typically you see this happen, right? To where there's some guy or multiple people in the draft to where it's like, damn, they should have went way higher. Why'd they fall so far? And then it's day one, they fall out of day one. Day two, it's like, oh shit, when are they going type deal. A lot of the time somebody passes that you think is going for a team, right? Or that you think is going to draft a certain player. These teams in the first round, it's kind of like a script, right? If you really think about it. Like I've went through this, right? Like if you're going through it, it's kind of like a game script. For the first 15 plays, typically you have these coaches that's what those sheets are that they're carrying, right? To where they have those first 15 plays scripted. Like, hey, look, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this in order for those first 15. And then it's off of the script at that point based off of knowledge, right? It's the same thing for the draft. You have a script for who you are drafting for that first round, right? My first pick is this because I know that this team needs this and they're going to draft this guy. So I think when those key teams passed on Shedeur, some of those teams were freaking out a little bit like, oh, shit, what do we do at this point? Like we either get the guy that we need right here or we get the best player available in the draft, which is Shedeur, right? So I think that probably happened a little bit too in the draft if you really think about it. It happens every year with something like that. Now, I'm not saying he should have went as far down as he did. That's ridiculous to me. Fifth round is absurd. That's absolutely absurd to me. I think he's a second-round talent at worst. Right. So to me, it does have a little bit to do with what you were talking about too, Wes. But at the same time, I think some of these teams panicked and they didn't know what to do in certain situations and went with their original pick instead of kind of redoing.
I got you. Yeah. Not that we want to go ahead and move on. We can move on from the subject a little bit, man. We want to hop into the NBA playoffs this year.
Yeah, let's do
Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah,
let's go ahead and hop into the NBA playoffs. I know that I won't sit back and act like I've been watching all the games because I have not, but I have seen some pretty big some unusual play, I will say. I mean, I didn't think that New York would be in a situation that they're in right now with Boston. That just didn't Boston to me has always kind of shown that they're not really who they act like or portray that they are. They've always kind of had that feel to me. They've always been solid though. Don't get me wrong. They've been solid since 2018 when they were playing against Bron back in those days. They've been solid for a while. And but it just now they're kind of showing you this year has been a weird year for them too, because they were losing a lot of games that when I bet on them that I didn't think they're going to lose, games that they should not have lost. So they're showing signs of cracks. And like once you won that title, did you feel like you made it to the top of the mountain? Is that it for you? Or did you want to leave a legacy behind? Boston Celtics.
Okay, yeah. Them guys, man. In reality, I feel like without the 3-point shooting, they not nothing really. They not nothing at all. That's their main thing that they go to. And when they not hitting, they play horrible in a sense. You know what I mean? Like that'd be the main thing. I think it was just not too long ago they hit the record for the most missed threes in a game. Yeah, like that's crazy. You missed 47 threes in a game. That's wild to me. Like
I remember when they didn't even take that many threes. Like
not at all.
Who's their number 3 though? Who's their number 3 guy? Like I know it's Porzingis, but who do you go to after Brown and after Tatum are not really hitting that game or they can't carry the load. That's where I think they're hurting at right there.
Just like you said, Porzingis is solid. He's solid. Porzingis is solid to me.
For some reason, but Porzingis is not Porzingis of who he used to be. Porzingis is, I mean, he
still got that dog in him though. He's still a hooper. He still get it done. He's still dropping. He still at least will drop a good 20 on you. You know what I mean? He'll still do all those type of things. I just think right now it's just who they going against right now. Remember when I was telling you the Knicks is solid. The Knicks is solid. They doing their thing.
So we're looking at the first option on Knicks, of course, is Brunson. That's Jalen Brunson. Number 2, you got Big Cat. And Big Cat's I know Cat's soft as Charmins. I know Big Cat is soft as Charmins, but he's probably one of the best big men in the league. To me, the trade for Randall, I didn't think that was a good trade. I thought that was a bad trade for Minnesota to make to get rid of. I mean, because Cat is a dog. You know what I mean? It looks good for him now. They beat the Lakers, but Cat's a dog. Okay, then you got number 3, who's their number 3 scorer. What's the kid? Bridges. I think Bridges is probably their number 3. Maybe
I wouldn't look at Bridges. I would say OG.
I'd say Bridges is 4. Bridges is 4.
Yeah, I would say OG is their 3rd. Bridges is solid on defense right now. He's doing his thing on defense. He's the one who solidified these wins. He got the block on the last game that stopped the game, and then the game before that he stole the ball. You know what I mean? He's more so on.
He'll hit on you too.
Not doing his thing.
Him and what's the other kid? Hart. Him and Hart. Hart's like one of the leading rebounders.
I ain't never seen no dude that small getting these rebounds like that. That's crazy. He's consistent. Yeah. He's consistent with it. He's gonna average at least 7 to 8 rebounds at least. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like he's doing his thing. He's a solid player. These players know how to play their role and know what they're doing. And it's to the point to where like the Knicks, I was actually watching them before Cat even came, and I was like seeing what they were turning into. You know what I mean? Like as far as even Brunson taking over, Brunson is just a dog. Like that's one of my favorite players in the league actually right now. I ain't gonna lie. Brunson is nice to me. You know what I mean? He's doing his thing. He's solid.
Brunson is my favorite.
He's definitely one of those players, man.
Yeah, he's nice.
Really?
He's definitely nice. I'll give it to him for sure.
I just, I like the clutch ability he has. I'll start off with this, by the way. I am all over Knicks plus 5.5 tonight. I think that line is absurd to me.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the Celtics are going to come out tonight in a kind of like a do or die scenario for them. So they're going to come out more desperate than anything.
Tatum's in New York too, right?
Yeah, and Tatum, and you're going to see a crowd that's going to be this crowd is going to be insane.
Crazy.
Yeah,
for sure. Almost violent crazy.
They've waited for a team like this to come and represent them for years now. So I think you're going to see them come out and show out tonight. I think you're going to see the Celtics come out. Tatum's going to come out and try and do too much because they're in a do or die situation. So I really think the Knicks win straight up tonight, much less just plus 5.5. So I think easy one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Tatum's type of dude will come out and put up 40 or, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say 50 ball. That's a lot, but he'll come out tonight and try to do something like that. Huh?
If he's hot, they got it. If he is hot, but that's the Knicks. The Knicks arena, they got one of the biggest supporter groups in the league, honestly.
And it's going to be wild in there.
Yeah, it's about to go crazy, and they're already up 2-0.
I'm going to the atmosphere, man. I'm purely betting plus 5.5 for the atmosphere.
That's actually solid. That's where it's starting at right now for the spread.
Plus 5.5.
That's crazy. I might actually have to hop on that because I didn't even know that it was plus 5.
It's insane.
Yeah, they're giving up me. They're not showing the Knicks the respect that they deserve. You know what I mean? That's just how I look at it. You're just not. But everyone feels like Boston is who Boston won the championship. I mean, you don't see a team like this crumble under the pressure like this. Not to them. To me, New York is good, but it's a matchup thing. I think right there. I think it's more of a matchup thing than anything else with New York and with Boston right now. If you look at the matchups, the Knicks just have them. Matchup wise, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
OG is big enough to guard Brown or Tatum. And then you got Hart, and then you got players who can actually play with Tatum and Brown. And I think that Brown's hurt, man. I think there's like the end of the season, he was like on the IR a lot at the end of the season. Just so I'm wondering if he's 100% or not. And that's kind of how I'm seeing it. He hasn't been the same Brown as far as like, you would think that in games like
screen,
no opinion, on the matter. So I just don't see
I think you're going out. Can you hear him, Mike?
Nah, he's frozen on mine.
Yeah, he's frozen on mine.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Now
I can hear you now. Yeah, you was frozen for a smooth minute.
Yeah, no, yeah. I think that we're going through a little bit of but I don't know, man. I just don't see them coming back out of this one right here. It's a good chance. I mean, if they come back and they win one or two games in New York, then we got a different ball game going. But if New York can take one game at home, I think it's over.
Well, if New York wins Game 3, it's over to me.
Yeah.
In the NBA, it's pretty much impossible to come back from a 3-0. I know we've seen it, whatever, but it's probably not going to happen in this position. You don't normally see a team go and win 2 games on the road and then come back and lose 2 games at home. They're going to win at least one of these games at home. Okay, the Knicks don't really lose both games. All right, that's just not going to happen. So I don't see the Celtics coming back, much less covering tonight. I mean, then you got the Wolves versus the Warriors on the other game, today. Again, the Wolves are minus 5.5, by the way, just so y'all know. That's all they are, minus 5.5.
They're trying to give them their respect now because, the last round, the Lakers were favorites every game, even when they were down 3-0. They were still favorites. You know what I mean? Like, whoever was betting on the Wolves was eating last round. Yep. They were definitely eating. They were like plus 200 every game. You know what I mean? And that was easy.
Curry playing. Like it's crazy to me. Like they just won by 20 points last game, and it wasn't even close. It was never close, never close. So I look at this. I'm like, damn, you got a minus 235 on the Timberwolves. If you got a little parlay, sprinkle that on there. I'm telling you, that's an automatic for me. I don't think the Warriors have a shot of winning.
Did you say Curry's not playing?
Curry's out for like a week. Curry's out for a week.
What do you do? His ankle?
They said he might play starting Game 6.
What's wrong with him? His ankle?
I think it's a leg injury.
His leg.
The first time he ever had one of these injuries before. I mean, if Curry doesn't, his legs are done, the movement's out of his game. I mean, he's pretty much a sitting duck. He's pretty much Klay Thompson. You know what I mean? At that point in time, everything is about his movement, him being able to get off and get his shot and being able to get his shot off. So it's pretty much a wrap. I mean, Jimmy Butler is not who, and Buddy Hield he's unreliable at best.
Buddy Hield don't pass the ball, man. People are wide open. This dude's shooting in triple people. Like it's crazy to me.
That's all he knows. He's a shooter. That's it. You know what I mean?
He's gonna shoot. Doing since the beginning.
He's definitely gonna shoot.
Well, what y'all think about Draymond?
It's done. They kept Draymond strictly off of we need aggression. You knew Klay. It was pretty much. It was between Klay and Draymond at that point. I think there was one of the two was going to have to go. And I think that Steph was like, I need Draymond's toughness more than I need Klay's sitting in one place and really can't get his shot off anymore, can't guard anybody. I need someone who can scare somebody. I need him to keep him off my ass. You know what I mean? Somebody go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
No. You're good.
No, Draymond to me, he should be playing like Lambeer from Pistons back in the day, right? That should be his game at this point. Put a body on somebody, elbow the shit out of everybody.
Go Bear.
Yeah, man. I want him to put an elbow into a sternum, man. Like I want him to be rough. In order for the Warriors to win this series, they're gonna have to play like the Pistons in the 80s. Okay, they're gonna have to.
Do you guys think the Warriors should have kept Jordan?
Nope. I think I didn't like that kid. That kid, I mean, you see him, look at him over. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think
it's the Wizards though that we talking about though.
Yeah, no. But the Wizards actually have it right now. I think they're building a good core. They got a kid over there who's like a center over there. I forget his name, but this kid's like 19 years old. His name's like Czar or something like that. This kid's man, he's performing over there. He's like 7'1". He's pretty good. They got like another. I forget the other guy's name as well. I think they're building something over there. Poole is just one of those players that he has a bad attitude. He went over there acting like he was something that he's not. Bro, you're not this guy. You know what I mean? Yeah, you did good, but you did good when you had Klay, Steph, and everybody named Mama. You know what I mean? Right. Like it kept everybody off your ass. You know what I mean? You could get basically wide open shots going. So that's kind of what
you couldn't have seen the Warriors keeping Jordan if when Steph and them leave, you couldn't see Jordan like holding that down if he was still there.
Look what he's doing from Washington. He was he's the guy when he's your marquee guy and he's walking away from the huddles and doing all kind of stuff. He's showing and even when his indifference to the stars of the team when he played for these guys, he's acting like I'm the guy. Like, bro, you okay, but you
I
ain't
get what
this,
you're
man.
saying.
And,
Yeah,
and
for
you're
sure.
not bringing a leader is different, bro. Like that leadership, confidence matters. Confidence matters to everybody. Want to look at their leader and know that this, okay, you ain't coming to the huddle like this or coming in here like you devastated. They think that everyone's getting their cue off you. So that does matter.
So he's
That's
somebody that you would say is arrogant then.
I wouldn't say that he's arrogant. I just say that he really believes he's something he's not. That's a different situation. Okay. You show me that you are what you say you are.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's different. You can if he was like go over there and he would still get 25 a game, but he was just losing, but he was still busting and getting down. Okay, you are who you say you are. You just ain't got the pieces around you. Keep your confidence. I don't care about. I wouldn't care if you're arrogant if it is what it is.
I feel like he got it in him. It's just the inconsistencies with it. You know what I mean? Because he'll go out and play and go crazy. You know what I mean? And show you that he really do got that in him. He got that dog in him, but it's just the inconsistency that's messing everything up for him and everything.
He's
you know
not
what I
a
mean?
team player. He's not a team
No,
player.
He's not. Yeah, it's about him. You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely.
110% always about him. Always about him, and you have not shown it. Your own teammates don't feel like you're that guy. They're not even giving you the respect to be like you're that guy. It's a difference when their teammates are like, you're really that. You really put the time in. You really put the effort in. I want to play for you because I see you working this hard. I got to step up my game to play for you. And he does not bring that to a team. That's the difference.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense for
sure. He doesn't bring that leadership role right? At all. He just doesn't do it. Yeah, I agree with that.
At all, you know, and the people they watch you come. I think did he win a championship over in Golden State?
Yeah, he did.
You're a champion, man.
I feel like that's what brings that mentality that he does have. You know what I mean? Like that's what brings it. Like I got a ring. You know what I'm saying? Like
type of thing.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I feel like that's where it comes from.
But he should also show it to the coaches. Show like I'm showing leadership is shown by how you act because people watch you. If you're like this, I don't need to watch this play. I don't need to do it. Your teammates got to tell you, watch the play, man. You're not that guy. Did they ever told Jordan to watch the play? They already knew what Jordan was going to do when he got on the court. I'm not comparing. I'm just saying, like, people are not going to tell the guy who puts that work in. And, you know, they ain't worried about that. Here, man, just give him the ball. He's going to take care of it. That's what they're thinking. They're not looking at Jordan Poole like that at all.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? So
a lot of people even believe that's the reason. A lot of people don't even that mentality is what got them socked. You know what I mean? Like it's just what happens. You know, just running your mouth to wrong people, especially the OGs. You're supposed to respect the vets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, exactly, and I think the same thing about him, man. What did you guys feel about the Indiana Pacers? Who are they playing right now? I forget. Who are they up against right now?
They're playing the
God. I can't remember. It's crazy right now. I'm drawing a blank right now.
I'm having a brain fart for sure. Hold on, let me see. They playing. Hold up.
They're up 2-0 right now.
Yeah, it's 2-1.
Cleveland. Sorry about this. Playing Cleveland.
Yeah. They up 2-1.
They're playing Cleveland right now. I mean, it's a crazy situation when you really kind of look at it, man. I think that
while we talking right now, my bad. I don't even mean to cut you off. My bad. I don't mean to cut you off, but the Knicks in Boston playing right now. And Boston whooping them 71-46. But it's the same thing that happened last time. You know what I mean? Those last two games. So you never know what's gonna happen in the second half. You know what I mean? More
than likely they're gonna. I mean, you're up 71-40. I mean, they're probably gonna go ahead and win this game. If they let these guys get up on them like this, they should.
But that's the thing. They was up like this on them these last two games.
That's almost 30 points. Yeah, I feel you.
We never know, but they probably will get it though. It's believable for them to win this game, and then you know what I mean. The Knicks end up winning the next one, so we'll be able to see that. Hawks are not going to
the NFC Championship. That's not happening.
That's funny.
Yeah, but I feel like with Indiana whooping on the Cavs the way that they are, the way that they're putting it on the Cavs right now is, I think that's a telltale sign about the Cavs are not who everyone thought they were. You listen to how Mitchell was talking about, hey, pretty much he's saying that this is my team. The team is different now than when they had like LeBron. Even he was touting himself as, we've made this happen without top players on the team, XYZ. And now you look at them, they're not really even able to deal with Indiana. I don't think Indiana is that. Me personally, I think they got some really good players. Don't get me wrong. They got Mathurin. They got, Siakam. They got, what's the center's name they got over there?
Jared Allen.
Yeah. No. I'm talking about for Indiana.
Miles Turner.
Miles Turner. Turner's decent. I think he's gone down a lot.
The big boy.
Yeah, but he's not the same guy he used to be. He used to block shots. You know what I mean? and do more. But I mean, they got more weapons than what the Cavs have right now. The Cavs' weapons are Garland. I think Garland was out for at least a couple of games or so this series already. And so, I mean, it shows you that they're weak as far as scoring. They don't have a depth at the scoring position more than anything else. Without Garland, without Mitchell, they're sitting ducks pretty much. Right. And so, I thought they were going to do a lot better. I really thought they had a chance to come out of the East, but I don't think they're coming out of the East. And I almost don't feel like, if Boston wins the next, like I said, Boston wins the next 2 games, they might come out. It might be a Boston probably versus Indiana, kind of a Eastern Conference Championship series. That's what I think is going to happen.
With Indiana, I feel like it's like every dog has his day type of thing. Like they even how the whooping that they put on the Bucks. You know what I mean? You don't expect that type. You know what I mean? Like
not at all.
And I feel like Halliburton is just on a run right now. He's on that. They claim he's overrated. You know what I mean? So he trying to show y'all that he not. You know what I'm saying? Because he doing his thing. It's them as a team, but he going crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they gonna go far. I don't feel like they're gonna make it to the finals. No. You know what I mean? But he doing something to be able to take that off of his name, if that makes sense.
Who do you have winning the finals?
They took my Lakers out, man. So I don't know. I want to see. Truthfully, I don't know if it's gonna go like that, but I would want to see the Knicks and the Wolves. Honestly,
that'd be nice. That'd be nice. That'd be a fun one for sure.
I'm gonna tell you, I like OKC, man. I really wish that I hope that they can get back in this series and tie it up. But I like they have depth on that team. They have a solid team. I hope they don't. I mean, there's enough players on that team where I think they're going to get raided eventually. Other teams are going to come in and try to take their talent. But I think I'd like to see them probably play the Knicks. I think those two, that game would be a decent. I think they beat the Knicks because they're just they're just better. They're scoring. They put up 149 points the other night against Denver.
They're fast, man.
That's a squad that we ain't even really talking about that much too. Though Denver actually trying to put in some work, though. You know what I mean? That's honestly, this playoffs this year is the best playoffs I've seen in a long time. You know what I mean?
Bottom, easy.
Yeah, easy. It's definitely a top playoffs that I've seen in a while. You know what I mean? And with Denver, they're really pushing. It's crazy because they was it's really Aaron Gordon. I was watching the interview with him. He's really pushing to get Russ a ring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're really trying to get Russ a ring. So, and Russ is even doing his thing too. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. The playoffs in general, everybody's doing their thing. I can't really bash nobody at all in the playoffs right now.
I could bash Houston. That was pathetic.
No, yeah, Houston for sure. We can bash teams from the first round. The people in the second round right now, it's a competition, most definitely.
Oh, yeah.
But last round, yeah, for sure. The Lakers, man, I don't even want to get into them.
It made me sick. I was sick. I didn't even watch
it. To be honest with you, I don't think the Lakers were built to beat a team like the Timberwolves, though. If you really look at it, like I think they have the 2 players, but I don't think they're built to really run with a team like that. You know,
if you look at Houston, better than what they did, though. At least, you know what I mean. 100%. They could have put up a better fight, a way better fight. You know what I'm saying? That was honestly crazy to me.
I mean, I look at it like they definitely gonna need a big man. This is the same thing Anthony Davis said before they got rid of him. Like, man, I need a center. I need a big man. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's what really ended up hurting him. Jackson Hayes should have been able to at least put a body on Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is soft as Sean. He's soft to me. Period. If I'm Golden State, I'm sending Draymond in to give him one good elbow and everything changes. Rudy's going to be sorry after. He's going to go soft after that. He's going to stay out of the paint. He's not going to play the same because he's not that kind of. He's really not that guy. You know, it's almost like
do his job, man. Draymond needs to be that ugly player, man. That little like just I'm going to drag you to the pits of hell, like physical as shit. Like that is what made him so
tee him up. You think they'll tee him out of there though? If he gets too physical, do you think they'll get rid of him quicker out of the game?
If he does it right, no. But I mean,
because he does it usually. That's his natural thing.
Yeah.
I only see 2 players that move like that. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people don't like Dylan Brooks. I love Dylan Brooks. Man. I love his energy. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't even bash Houston in the playoffs. I'm gonna bash Jalen Green. You know what I mean? Houston overall. They were solid to me. They were solid. Jalen Green, you damn near the main person of the team. You know what I mean? I think he only dropped How much did he drop the last game? he ain't even. I don't even think he hit double digits. I don't even remember. But
because he's not that dude like that. He's not that. He's almost
But
dubbed to be like Anthony Richard, Anthony Edwards.
Though.
Because he's the only one you got. Because he's all you got. He's pretty much all you got. When Amon Thompson ends up getting, but that's going to take too long. They need a guy now. They need Jalen Green. They need him now to be who he's supposed to be, and he's not going to be that. He's not a dude who's going to consistently come in there. He doesn't even average over 25 points a game. To be that guy, he needs to be consistently averaging over 25 plus a game, and he's not there yet. He does not have that mentality of if you're my scorer and you don't do shit else, because you don't do nothing else. There's games he didn't have no assists, no nothing. You know what I mean? You're not a rebounder. You're averaging like 2 or 3 rebounds and assists a game. If that's your whole entire job is to go out here and score, then you need to work a little bit harder on what you're doing on your offensive game, because it's not really bearing out. It didn't bear out at all.
I know nobody in the Pacific Northwest wants to hear this, especially Seattle. OKC is dangerous this year.
They are. Yeah, they are.
OKC's got a real shot to go all the way, and I think you're going to see a lot of pissed off people up here when it happens, as far as Supersonic fans especially. But I think they have a real shot of going all the way.
I mean, they got to get through. Yeah,
I wonder if y'all market just was not good enough for them. I think was I talking to you about that, right? Wasn't?
Yeah, I mean, what happened was, man, you had the guy, the Starbucks owner, I forget his name, man. The guy who owned Starbucks, Schultz or something like that, Howard Schultz, I think that's what his name was. He ended up selling the team, and he sold it to a guy whose business was based out of it's called Liquid LNG, liquefied natural gas. He sold the team to him, and this guy was like, "Hey, I won't move the team to OKC. I won't do this, that, and third." But that was the whole plan to begin with. Howard Schultz knew it. He was like, "Oh, he said he wouldn't sell the team." He knew he was going to. He knew move the team. He knew he was going to move the team. That was the whole purpose. He came in and said, "Hey, I need X amount of dollars for a new stadium." We said no. He was like, "All right, I'm out of here." That was the first. It kind of was a setup, man, for him to have moved the team out. It had nothing to do so much with our market or anything like that. People loved him, but it was Christine Gregoire, I think that's what her name was. She was our governor at the time. Her pushing back and not putting the money in the stadium. When you've had we had Kevin Durant, man. I'm not a Supersonics fan. That's not me. I'm a LeBron fan. Wherever LeBron's playing, that's who I'm a fan of, right?
And then that next year was when they picked up Russ, right? The year after they left y'all.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
We had KD. I mean, how do you get rid of KD? I mean, and the Seahawks were a big part of our culture out here. They won championships before. They went to multiple championships. Another thing you can almost liken what happened with the Lakers to is what happened with Seattle when they had those really strong teams with Kemp and Gary Payton, and they go up against Dikembe Mutombo. When they face a big center, they couldn't get over the hump of being able to dealing with a big center like that. Yeah. Not in the paint, there was nothing you could really do about it. This dude had 20-something points, 20-something rebounds, man. Like 24 points, 28 rebounds. It was crazy numbers. I'm like, what the hell? How did Rudy Gobert? How did you let Rudy? You ain't got nobody could put a body on him? It was just nuts to me. But I do think that OKC right now is like it's my favorite, but they're down 2-1. They might not even make it through this round right here. It's a good chance they might not make it through the round.
I think they make it through the round.
You think so? You think they come?
It's a good round, man. It's a good round. I can't decide on that one. I can't really decide on that one. Denver is in a bag right now too, though.
Yeah, this is the best series I think of this round for sure.
Yeah, they definitely in a bag. Like they definitely that one's. I
most
like that game.
Series. I'll put it that way. Most entertaining series is going to be
for sure.
It's the most. They didn't. The NBA didn't struck for a lot of money this series too, man. Because I'm telling you right now. With the kind of the way the games have been played out and the way who's been winning, come on, man, that's crazy to me. I would never expect. I mean, from the way the season went, you wouldn't expect Indiana to be up, over Cleveland. You wouldn't expect
all these teams to be up. Everybody that was favorites in this round is down. The Thunder were favorites down. Cavs favorites down. The Celtics favorites down. They all went down. You know what I mean? So whoever betting right now.
Getting struck.
Yeah, they eating.
Hey, I will tell you this: if you think a team's going to come back and win, now's the time to do it because it's 2-0.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? If you think a team like Boston right now would be the time to go bet them live. As far as, hey, look, they're going to win the series because hey, they win this game, they're down 2-1. They got a real shot at that point because I think they're the better squad out of the two. Right? Boston and New York, they're obviously the better team, top to bottom, in my opinion. But like I said, man, it's with the crowd and all that involved, man. New York that's a different animal.
I think the Knicks got it.
I hope so. I hope so. I want to
Yeah.
see a fun final, man. I want to see a fun semi, fun final. I haven't seen a New York team in there for so long. It's like, dude, let's get it. Like, let's do it.
That would be a big market team too. That'd be a big market team for them for the NBA to have in there to bring the Knicks back to that situation. Who are you looking at out of the West end going against the Knicks?
The Wolves for me. The Wolves.
I agree.
I want them. Remember what I was telling you, Wes, when we was talking about who we think is going to be like the face of the leagues and all of that. I said if it ain't Wemby, it's Anthony. You know what I mean?
Is he hurt? Did he get? I think he got hurt like last game. Something happened with his leg. I'm not sure.
Oh, Anthony.
Edwards has that attitude.
I'm not sure.
Edwards has that attitude, that facial expression every time he makes a point. Like he has that Jordan-esque mentality too. I like it. I like him, man. I think he's the new face of the league. I think he's going to be the guy to take the face of the league over automatically from here on out.
I'm pretty confident in his Wemby, but if it ain't Wemby, I think it's Anthony. You know what I'm saying?
That.
Wemby has that. Wemby's just him. You know what I mean? Like eventually he'll get to those points, but it's his Anthony's more of an entertainer. Wemby's more of a hard worker. Like he shows that he's not Kobe. You know what I'm saying? But his mentality is that's what he's trying to be. You know what I'm saying? As far as the focus and the grit towards it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the league tries to push for. You know what I'm saying? Anthony's the entertainer, the jokester, somebody that's gonna make you laugh. He's gonna say something wild. You know what I mean? In his press conferences. You know what I mean? He just got it in him. Those are the only two I can see. Ja Morant, can't see him being the face of the league.
Nah.
You know what I mean? Like I can't see none of them. Even Shea, I could probably see Shea trying to be one of them too at one point. You know what I mean? But other than those three, I can't really see nobody else.
Luka, I think's done too much stupid shit in his personal stuff in order to do that.
He doesn't perform. He doesn't perform.
Who are you talking about?
Ja.
Oh yeah. His rep alone is just not. It's
already tarnished too much. I feel like for him to really become the fake.
If he was to step up, I mean, he just keeps on doing dumb shit over and over and over again. Too. I mean, it's part of the game. You know, I mean, it happens. It happens to the best of us. But I'm like, if he was to step up and like actually perform, he's not even. People have like compared him like AI, bro. You ain't even going out getting 30 in the playoff games, man. When they need you, you're not even. You know, you're still getting 21 and 22 points. That don't. You know what I mean? That's not going to win it, especially with you being the number one option on your team. It's not going to do it for your team. Desmond Bane.
Go ahead. My bad. I don't mean to cut you off.
You're good. Go ahead.
No, I agree. I agree with the AI comparison to a certain aspect, right? Like AI is more. He was the hood dude that, of course, you know what I mean, went to jail. Do all. Ja ain't that, you know what I'm saying? But Ja inspires these people to do basically the same thing. Not this like all right. AI inspired the braids, the tattoos, the street look that they ended up enforcing the rule for everybody to wear suits. You know what I mean? Ja's enforcing, you know, that new saying that they call YNs. You know what I'm saying? Like. All of that. Ja's inspiring that. So in a sense, like I look at it, I agree with it to a certain aspect, not as far as the talent on the court, but as far as the inspiration off the court, it's kind of the same thing. You know what I mean? It's definitely kind of the same thing as far as the hood aspect of the hood inspiration in a sense. It ain't something that you want to do, but that's what he got. That's what he's doing. You know what I mean? That's why I would agree to it to a certain aspect.
As long as nobody compares the skill level, I'm fine with that.
No, he's not that at all. They're two different completely players.
Big time.
The only person I would ever compare to AI is Kyrie. I would never compare no other player to AI.
Hey, that's fair too.
You know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. I would have loved to see Kyrie and AI go one-on-one. That would have been a fun game, a very entertaining game. You know what I mean?
So what do y'all think about Kyrie's career? Like, do you think that Kyrie made the best decisions in his career when he did end up leaving LeBron? Like the whole way that it played out.
I don't think he should have went to Boston.
No.
Yeah, I don't think he should have went to Boston at all.
That was
the Mavericks. I actually like him on the Mavericks, though. I ain't gonna lie. I did like him on the Mavericks, but before they gave up Luka, I'm still puzzled by that. I'm gonna still be puzzled by that trade. I will never understand it, honestly. But we talked about it, about the overweight thing and all of that type of stuff. But Luka is that guy. He's just that guy. You know what I mean? He's still putting up 30, being that overweight. That they said that was a problem. You know what I mean? But I like Kyrie on the Mavs. I feel like it's a good environment for him. And if AD and him can stop being injured, they'll be solid. They'll be definitely solid. But AD, I don't think AD is never not going to be healthy. And now, he'll never have a healthy season.
He has nobody to push him now either. He has no one to push him to make him want to play when he's one of those people who any little thing he's trying to find an excuse not to go to work. Pretty much anything wrong. I messed up. He don't want to play. He don't want to play, bro. He don't. He's like, okay, maybe I'll play just enough to get a check, to get a big
Right.
check. Because he came out the first game, I almost feel like, was he hurt before he went there? Because as soon as the first game happened, he was there. Next thing you know, he's hurt and he's out for pretty much the whole rest of the season. So I mean,
he probably was. He probably was. They probably just never said nothing about it.
I almost feel that way. It's got to be something, because it just didn't make sense to me. But I can see Luka as being. I mean, to me, like, let me just go back to the Kyrie thing. My bad. With the Kyrie thing, man, I think that his career kind of went downhill a little bit after he left playing with LeBron, and he thought that he could go and be the person who LeBron was. He thought he was the guy, and I haven't seen him on any team. He's been on some really stacked teams too. You look at who he played with when he over in Brooklyn. Yeah, Harden and KD. Come on, man.
He couldn't win for shit, by the way.
You know, I mean, the only time that he's gotten anywhere back to the playoffs, I mean, back to the championship again, was with Luka, and that's over with. And he's hurt now, and he's older. So I think Kyrie's his time in the sun is pretty much coming to an end in my eyes. I think, especially with the type of injury.
He had a solid career though. I wouldn't complain if I was Kyrie. You know what I mean? He had a decent career.
Solid, very solid.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like, you know, Kyrie's had a good career as well too. I just think that it's pretty much over. I mean, why would I take Anthony Davis? Why would I take Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic? I mean, it had to be something really bad in order for me to do that move. Because Anthony Davis, man, I wouldn't take him for nothing. I don't care what I don't care what the trade is. I don't want him. You know what I mean? Because he ain't going to play. He's going to play about 30, 40 games a year, and that's about it. You're going to be paying him a lot of money to play 30 or 40 games a year, and hope to make the playoffs so he can play in there. Maybe. You know, so I'm just not seeing it. So who else is playing in the West? I know we have OKC. I know we have the Golden State, the Warriors playing over there, playing the Wolves. What's that series right now?
1-1.
Yeah, tied up.
I mean,
about to be 2-1 Timberwolves.
Yeah, probably more than likely. You know, I mean, without Curry, man, you don't have a chance to win. You don't have a chance to beat them. I mean, when's the next game they play?
Today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if Jimmy Butler can Jimmy Butler's too old to will himself to another W like he used to back when he was in Miami. He could will himself to the championships in Miami. You know what I mean? He can make it happen.
I don't know though. Jimmy love it where he at though. You know what I mean? This is honestly the best I've seen him as far as even just like how he feeling and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? He's more comfortable where he at. He was trying to get out of Miami ASAP. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He's in a better situation.
I feel like he's yeah, for sure. Definitely. He loves where he's at. You know what I mean? So he's gonna definitely try to get that done for them. Curry now playing though is definitely
when it comes to team though, right? Top to bottom. I mean, would you say that they have 2 or 3 players I think they could keep up, but when you look top or bottom, I don't think they keep up with the Wolves for a whole game, much less a whole series.
I mean, okay, let's kind of go through it real quick. I mean, the Wolves really have who they got. They got Edwards, they got DiVincenzo, they got Randall, they got Nas Reed. They got another kid too. What's that other kid's name? I can't remember his name, but you know who I'm talking about though. He's a forward, he's a wing. He's decent too. He's a good player as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so I mean, but then let's flip it over. They got Gobert too, but Gobert's he's big. He's a big man. He's a big body.
If the other team doesn't have a center, it's game over. They're just going to put him in and throw alley-oops.
Put Looney on him, man. Put Looney on him. Where's Looney at? Put him in there. Let him put a body on him. That's a big enough body to keep him out the paint. He's not coming off the dribble, so you ain't got to worry too much about anything other than just putting a body on him and keeping him out the paint.
He's so soft.
At Sharman's. And so then you got to remember they still got Kuminga. They still got, I mean, you got Butler, you got Hield, depending upon, the day, he can get you 25, 30 points. It can happen. You know what I mean? You just got to get out there and actually hit his shots. They got what's the kid's name? Starts with a P, I think, over there in Golden State. They got a kid over there too that's decent over there. I can't remember the kid's name. He's a good shooter.
The light-skinned cat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget his name too. I know who you're talking about. He's young. I forget his name though.
I mean, he's a decent shooter. I mean, they could. You have the Minnesota is not like they're not an unbeatable team. They're just not. They're not one of those teams who are like, oh, this is a certain thing.
I think for Golden State right now they are.
Oh yeah, I feel what you're saying. I can't say it's too many ifs involved without Steph Curry. You got too many ifs going. That's an instant 20-some points.
You have to almost say that Buddy Hield has to play a perfect game, that Butler has to play a perfect game in order to beat a team like Minnesota at this point, because they're playing at such a high level. I just don't think they're going to match up well. You know what I mean? I just don't think they match up well at all, especially without Curry. With Curry, it was already questionable enough for me. When you take him out of the game, it's game over. It's not even close.
Yeah. You don't even have. Yeah, you just don't have that. That's a tough one right there. Yeah, like I say, I think that okay, so we're looking at probably the Wolves versus maybe Denver, maybe OKC. I know you're saying OKC.
Whichever,
Yeah, you know what I mean? If OKC don't win the next game, it's done.
I don't think either one of those teams beat the Timberwolves either, to Mike's point. I really don't think that either. I really don't. I think they're the best team in the West right now. They're playing at such a different level than everybody else. It's hard for them to match up well against them.
It's acting trash. Y'all both keep going in and out on me.
Uh-oh.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, I think OKC can beat the Timberwolves. My personal opinion. They just gotta. I mean, you have a complete team. You know, what I mean, you got two bigs that are big. You know, it's not like they got Hartenstein. Mm-hmm. He can play Gobert. He's big. He's physical player. You got Chet over there as well. Another 7-footer. You got two 7-footers up front. That's bigs up front. You got speed, and you got Dort. You got Shea. You got a bunch of Caruso. You got a bunch of solid players. Jalen Williams or whatever. They got a lot. They have a lot of scorers that are off the bench, and so that's a stacked team. I'm surprised they're having problems with the Denver the way
they're having a lot of problems.
Yeah,
a lot of problems.
Yeah, I'm very surprised. I mean, they beat the dog out of them the second game. The next game they went to overtime. Shea doesn't have any points in overtime at all. He's good money. Shea is good money. He's probably one of the he's probably the best pure scorer in the league right now. Right now. I don't know anybody who's a better pure scorer than Shea. Can get his shot off anywhere, can get to his spots, you know what I mean, can create contact, and through the contact, hit the shot. There's right now he's what Harden used to be.
Yeah.
In my eyes. You know what I mean? There's Harden's game doesn't translate in the playoffs, but Harden was that guy. He could get his money, but but I think that Shea has a higher percentage of as far as field goal percentage than what Harden used to jack the ball up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to take a lot of shots. I think Shea's more efficient than Harden was in my eyes.
I hate watching Harden play basketball. I'm sorry, I can't stand it. Dude he does a jump shot, he throws his legs out like he's laying down and then prays for a foul. I hate watching him play basketball. It's not even fun.
I mean, as far as Harden's probably one of the better facilitators in the league. You know what I mean? If he were to go to a team, I mean, we can't keep saying that about him because he's gone to every team. He's been everywhere. You know, and he still has not won. So
he's had multiple opportunities.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way to win one, and he has not.
He had multiple different players, around him. They've put him in every situation to win.
He's been on super teams,
More super teams than anybody else.
Yep.
Anyone else. You know what I mean? Besides maybe KD. Him and KD have been on
That's true.
You know what I mean? KD goes to the super team every single time. He's the super team. That whole OKC squad has pretty much from Russ to Hart. All three of those guys are pretty much been. KD's the only one with a ring.
Yeah.
And he had to go to the perennial, the greatest one, the greatest super team, if not the greatest super team of all time, in my book. That's why I think the Golden State Warriors were the greatest super team of all time.
Yeah.
By far as ever. I don't think anyone could have beat that team. Me personally. Who do you think?
Bulls.
The Bulls.
Yeah.
I don't see it, man.
I think it's such a good matchup. It's a toss-up, to be honest with you, in my opinion. It really is. Just because if you really look at the matchups, it's so close.
What year? What year?
Over.
What year? Which Bull squad?
What Bull squad?
Yeah.
Probably 96.
Okay, so you're going with the Rodman, Harper, all those guys. You're going.
I like their size that they brought, their toughness. That it was different, man. with that team, I think they could hang with a team like Golden State, and they would have to at that point because I don't think they could run with
shooters. 3 shooters that are just. I mean, and this was when Clay was still Clay. Clay was 3 dribble 40-point Clay. You know what I mean? Like Clay was, as a different ball game. I'm like, that's my thing about it. I mean, you couldn't beat them because it was like every time down court you could score 2 times.
The logo, man.
They're gonna hit 3 threes. They could go 3 for 10, and they still got 9 points. You got to at least put up 5 shots to get that. You know what I mean? Like it's just it was unfair. It was an unfair advantage. You know what I mean? And they played against arguably the greatest player, which we'll have to have that conversation one day. In the NBA, which was LeBron James, and during his reign as the king of the NBA, and they were able to still keep. They had to go get KD in order to keep him in check. You had to go get KD, and that to me was a big thing all within itself. I got to go from a 73 win. That's why I don't respect KD too, because you went from a team that you guys were up 3-1 versus this Golden State team. You're up 3-1, and they come back, beat you. And then you go to their team next year. To me, I just don't respect that. That's man,
that was pretty messed up. Yeah.
And then you talking shit to LeBron. You talking to their you can't come here and go and join a good team, go and join a good gang already, and then all of a sudden now you can come talk shit. It's impossible. You're not, and he hasn't gone anywhere else and done anything since then. So to me, his legacy will never be, no matter if he got 2 championships or not. 2 finals MVPs or not. I think he might only have 1, right? I think Iguodala won 1, or did he win? Or Iguodala won the first?
He
I can't
won
remember.
the 1, Iguodala on the other.
Yeah, I mean, you really can't even look at him the same way. His legacy will not even be the same as it should be in my book at all, because of the moves that he made. To where he had to go to win the championship. But
I don't even think about him when I think of best ever or all time greats.
No, nobody does.
I really don't.
And it's pretty bad to say that, but I think that the Warriors team would beat the Bulls, man. I don't see them. I don't see the Bulls touching them, man. Like I know Jordan's Jordan, and I know Pippen's Pippen.
Because you're not going to get a rebound. You're just not against the Bulls team that year. Then you got to stop Jordan. You got to. And Chicago actually played defense, which is way different than today's game. So I mean,
remember, you got Clay. Clay wasn't Clay. I mean, you got Pippen too. You got somebody. I get you. You got Iguodala too.
When you look at the matchups, it just becomes so interesting because of how close it is.
Who's going to stop KD?
I know that's where the main ones are. It's KD and Jordan. That's the 2 where you're like.
I mean, no. Steph Curry. You forgot about Curry, man. This is what I was saying to y'all. This is the crazy part about it.
Curry's getting beat up by that team, though. That's the difference. Curry's going to get hit by that team.
They're not going to catch. Curry got moved. They won't even be able to. They'll have everybody on skates. Curry's gonna
go dumb on them though. Curry, Curry's a whole different ball game. That's a whole
not today's Curry.
They wouldn't handle him. They wouldn't be able to.
Young Clay, young KD.
Yeah.
Pick your poison, man. Nobody. Okay, maybe Pippen on the Bulls could put up points. You know what I mean, in place of Jordan, but you got 3 dudes on this team right here for sure. It didn't matter what it was. Any 3 of these dudes is pretty much Jordan's numbers for the night. Any 3 of them, pick one. You can go for 45 tonight. 40 tonight. 2 of them will probably do it.
But that's the thing, though, right? I think you're going with recency bias too, because you're looking at how they are against defensively teams are playing against them now. That team ain't playing defense like they are now.
You got to, at the same time, you got to remember these kids. Jordan was only 190 pounds.
Yeah.
Clay was bigger than him. You know what I mean?
But everybody used to say this, right? Jordan would get on the court and you'd think he's Goliath coming at you. But because he just played with a different aura about himself.
Not saying Iguodala could stop him, but and plus this is an old Iguodala.
Hey, I would like to see that though. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do want to see. I would pay money to see that.
You know what I mean? That's who I would put on. I'm not saying Jay gonna do his thing, but Jordan shot at a low percentage too. You know what I mean? Like he's jacking the ball up 30, 40 times a game to get the points he's gotten. These dudes are shooting 40% from 3. Mm-hmm. 3 people on your team.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a tough ball game to play. Because I understand what you're saying, but I think that people tend to think that physicality, that the people got away back. They were not very good shooters back in the day like that, though. They were not high percentage.
That's why I would say it matters about the rule set, right? Because if you're playing old rules, I think Jordan wins. If you're playing new rules, I think Golden State wins by 50. So
Jordan didn't even beat the Detroit Pistons under the old rules. The old rules, they had to make Jordan rules in order to help Jordan to win, because he was getting beat up.
That's my point.
I like
it matters
Jordan.
by rules, right? That's all it is.
I like Jordan, but they had to tell people, hey, man, you can't just slam Jordan to the ground when he comes to the hole no more. You got to do this, let Jordan win. Pretty much, because they knew he was the face of the league. I'm not saying Jordan wasn't what Jordan was. I love Jordan. That was the guy. You know what I mean? It was like, you know, he was my favorite player too until LeBron came around.
But all I'm saying is Jordan didn't used to fall 40 feet when he got hit by somebody that was 5'2", and he's the biggest guy in the league.
Oh man, this is crazy.
Just saying.
Hey, you heard about Jordan? You heard about the stat padding? I mean, you know what I mean? The stat padding accusations they made about Jordan, right?
Sure.
Where they're saying that the teams would add stats to Jordan, like he had more steals than what he really had more, this is a fact. They were doing this for him. They're not doing this for LeBron.
I ain't even know they was doing
that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they were cheating, man, for Jordan. They was cheating for Jordan. Jordan got way more stats than what he really accomplished in real life, and it's proven. They have it to where it's like home games, away games. They were just basically feeding him stats that he didn't even really gain. I mean, like I said, Jordan was a killer. You cannot compare killer mentality of who Jordan is with the killer mentality of LeBron. You can't even compare Kobe to LeBron. LeBron's not like them. If he was, he would have won way more of these championships than what he had.
Too. I think
I mean, I know that too. But I always my defense of that right there is that I'm the type of person I'd rather go than not go. Some people are like, oh, I want to win. I'd rather be there. Put me in the competition. Put me in the game, rather than saying what. Because some people want to be perfect. Oh, Jordan won 6 for 6. Blah 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 blah. Well, man, I mean, and then you can say if was a fifth, he could have probably had 9 championships. The 2 in the middle of him that he left, that whatever happened to him, from all the accusations, kicked out of the league for whatever left the league. Those 2 in the middle that Houston won, and then him coming back for a 9th run when they wanted to get rid of the team. He could have had 9. It's a possibility, but it didn't happen. You get what I'm saying? That'd have been 9 straight championships he went to. So I mean, yeah, he won 6, but to me, a feat of going to 8 straight.
See, I don't agree just because of the fact that they called the East the least for a reason when LeBron was in the East. To be honest, that he didn't play anybody, man. Like going to the playoffs, Toronto. If you make the playoffs in the East when he was in the East, you went to the finals. If you're LeBron James, all you needed was 1 or 2 big players, and you're in.
LeBron, he showed you that, and when he was in the Lakers too, he said no. He showed you that he went to the West. They all ran. What they do as soon as LeBron went to the West?
They went to the East.
They went to the East because they knew I don't want to play LeBron. Not at his peak. When LeBron he went to the West, won a championship. They called the bubble championship. Whatever happens, man, they're gonna say something. LeBron didn't do X, Y, or Z. He went to the championship when he was like 23 years old. He was a kid by himself. He did it by himself with nobody, no help.
Oh, I have LeBron right under Jordan. Don't get it twisted. Like
LeBron ain't never go to championship with no help at all. Like none. He had who did he have on his team? I can't remember the people's names. What was one guy's name? I forget the guy's name. He played for Wally Zerbiak. Yeah, Wally Zerbiak on his team.
Bro, Jordan had 7 crack addicts on his team.
Oh,
his rookie and
Scottie Pippen, man.
Hold on, no. You're going after what I'm talking about.
You're talking
when
about
he first started in the league, he took the Chicago Bulls to the
guys,
playoffs.
I don't mean to cut y'all off real quick.
Huh?
I got to step off the camera real quick. Hold on, real quick.
Okay. No, do your thing.
All right.
Yeah, because Jordan took 5 crack addicts to the playoffs his first 2 seasons.
He won 32 games.
I get that, but he still went.
LeBron won more games. LeBron won more games his rookie year than Jordan won, and when he went to the
LeBron didn't have to play 7 Hall of Famers with the Boston Celtics or the Detroit Pistons or any
I'm
team.
talking about his rookie year. LeBron was a high school kid. He didn't get coached by Dean Smith. He didn't get any of that stuff going. He came in fresh out of high school on a sorry team.
LeBron to me should be better than what he is, in my opinion. And I know that's unfair. Almost.
How?
It's unfair to say that, and I agree. I do hear what you're saying with that. to me, when you're talking about a guy he's physically just gifted, dude, just gifted, right? I think we can both agree on that. Just a gifted player, right? He could play football, basketball, baseball. He could play whatever sport he wants, right?
Jordan and the Kobe could have too.
Yes, but not not into that impact as this one can play. All right, because the athleticism on LeBron is different than most, right? He's built different. He can do different positions. Mm-hmm. That's why whenever people compare both of these 2 or 3 players, really, I hate when people forget about Kobe because he should be right there. For me, just based off of his impact to the game, what he did, his accomplishments, things of that nature. Mm-hmm. But when you look at LeBron, it's like, dude, he should have more titles than he has, in my opinion, just based on the help he had in certain places and things of that nature. Like, although the series that he lost with the Cavs when he had JR, not his fault.
No, okay. I mean, no, but I mean, this is how I look. I'm gonna go through each one of his championships right here. And his first one when he went and played against the Spurs when he was a kid, and he had Wally Zerbiak and Jonas Ilgauskas. Nobody. Mm-hmm. He had nobody. Jordan's never done that before with nobody on his team like he's done. Okay, I see why he lost that one. I mean, you're playing against the Spurs. Right. That was a juggernaut. They had a big 3 over there. They had a squad.
Jordan, his first season would have lost to the Boston Celtics, which had 5 Hall of Famers.
I mean, he didn't make it to the championship. This kid made it to the championship.
But why are you going to make it to the championship? LeBron was playing, literally, LeBron's team was basically playing a mirror of themselves in the East for 4 years.
This is a kid. I mean, we can say, okay, we don't know who Hall of Famers are. I mean, we was saying 5 Hall of Famers who? Bird, McHale, Parrish. I would say maybe Parrish, but, Parrish's career, does it really warrant a gold jacket or whatever you want to call it, or green jacket, whatever they get out there?
Well, he got there just because he was on that team. I agree with you.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like it was really Bird, McHale. They had a couple other players that were decent too, but I mean, you lost because you lost, guy. I mean, you still have Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen's Hall of Famer.
No, he didn't have him. He didn't have Scottie yet.
The first couple years. I mean, this is saying LeBron. So this is even a better. He had George Gervin his first year or two. Yeah. I know it was the end of George Gervin's career. I'm not trying to, what I mean? You're right. But he also had Oakley. He had a couple other decent players. Okay, but LeBron had nobody. Nobody at all. He went to by himself, a kid though. Basically, the year that Jordan came, I think Jordan was maybe 21 when he came out of college or whatever. Yeah. 2 years later, LeBron was in the championship.
Sure.
So I mean, that one right there, I see why he lost. Okay, then you go on to his run with Miami. The first one, his fault. That's LeBron's fault. He should have won that championship.
I don't think anybody was stopping who won the title that year.
He came out. I think he averaged 17 points. Man, he blew that one. He should have came out and been LeBron. He was not. He froze up. They lost. That's how I feel. I blame that one on LeBron. The next 2, he won. The fourth one, you can kind of blame him, but at the same time, you had Kawhi, you had a whole good team over there, and you had Dwayne Wade at the end of his run. He was
Kawhi
done.
Made them look real bad too.
But Dwayne Wade was finished.
Yes.
I mean, at that time, every time he fell down, he'd roll on his back because he didn't want it. It was over. I mean, that's what that was. Okay. His first one. So, still on him. I'm still going to have to put that on LeBron. You still got to perform whatever it is to it. So right now you're 2 and 3. You 1, 2, 3 of them, pretty much on you, but I'm not mad at you about the first one against the Spurs. You get to Cleveland. The first year that they went, Kyrie's gets hurt.
Sure.
I think the very first, Kevin Love gets hurt again in the Boston series. He's out for the rest of the playoffs. So you pretty much was LeBron against the whole entire Golden State team.
That wasn't him. Yeah.
You and Dellavedova. You made Dellavedova go get some big money. Dellavedova went and got a big check because LeBron made it good enough to get him a big. Okay, cool. The next year, you guys come back 3-1.
Yep.
You guys beat Golden State, who had just previously won 73 games.
Yep.
Broke the record, whole 9. What do they do the next year to stop LeBron? They go out and get probably one of the top 3 best players, if not top 2, in the league, in KD. To bring him in to help against LeBron. I'm not mad at you about the next 2 championships that you lose.
Sure.
I'm just not. I mean, you had to play against 3.
They didn't match up well.
at all. There's just nobody would match up well against this team right here. This team, that was a juggernaut. I mean, yeah, Kawhi beat them, but they lost. I think KD got hurt in the series. I think Clay got hurt in the series. It just was what it was. It came out to be, at that point in time. Then after that, I think he went one more championship after that, and he won that one. Whether it was a bubble championship, whatever you want to call it, everyone had an opportunity to win. He did. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Tim Duncan's first championship, he won. There was only a 50-game regular season. It was a strike-shortened season. He won the championship. Him and David Robinson won that championship. So I don't look at everyone has a chance to win. You win or you lose, whatever it is. So I'm like, a lot of I don't make too many excuses for him, but I would say at least 2 of those championships losses, I'm not mad at him about.
Injuries,
at least 2
like
of them.
that, yeah.
I mean, I want to see maybe 4. I might even give me 4 of them. The 2 against KD and the whole superstar squad they had there. The first one that he lost against the Spurs, being 23 with nobody else on his team, they're pretty much key off on LeBron. No one else can do anything. And the one he lost, the first one he lost for the Cavs when they played Golden State, when he lost Kyrie and he lost Kevin Love. That's 4 championships right there that could have gone either way.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Out of the 6 losses he got, 4 of them, he's pretty much, it was a tough situation for him to be in, but he still was there.
Like I said at the beginning, I think people have trouble giving him credit for those years in his early years, as far as Cleveland, just because of how weak the East was at that point. I hear what you're saying too, and I agree with you to a certain extent too. I don't think he gets enough credit for that, but at the same time, I do agree with it to a sense too, because it was a big change. I mean, you can't look at that and say it's not a huge difference between the East and the West at that time.
No, it was, but I mean, he still got there. I mean, wherever you put a person at, that's and when he went to the West, they left.
Well,
they got out of it,
right?
Period. And I mean, if people thought it was so weak, why didn't players want to go over there? You know why? Because LeBron was over there, and they didn't want to have to deal with LeBron. They felt like, I'd rather deal with these cats over here than go dealing with LeBron. That's just how I feel about it. You know what I mean? And you didn't catch that. I mean, for a long time, like I said, was pretty much, he just was a ball hog.
He's a killer. That's what he is.
He's a killer. He's a stone cold killer. But I'm not going to say he wasn't. I thought if it was a last shot situation,
him or Kobe.
Yeah, I'm not going. I can't fully take away from LeBron because LeBron will hit you, but he's not endearing confidence in me because of the way he does things. Sometimes.
He's a totality of the game guy, though. I do agree with you with that. He's a guy that's going to give you 110 from whistle to whistle, and I like that. Kobe and Jordan will give it to you, but they give you that extra oomph at the end of the game situation, right? If there's a clutch game situation, that's who you want, right? Typically, I don't think you would list LeBron as really on that level of those other 2.
But he is on paper. But the factual basis of it, he is on paper. Like as far as like how many game winners he has and all that, and fourth quarter points, all that, he is that on paper. We just don't give it to him because he's been around for so long. People did not. There's been no. I mean, to me, he's had the greatest career.
Longevity, without question. Without question.
I mean, even just. I mean, at the same time, longevity and performance.
Yeah.
Longevity. I mean, he's gone to 10 championships in 22 years.
Well, he's still playing at such a high level at this age, too. I mean, it's so impressive. You know what I'm saying? Like seeing his totality of how his game has changed from year 1 to now. And it's almost scary how good he's gotten. You know what I mean? As far as just levels above everybody else. Like, it's still the best player in the league, really. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
That's crazy to me at this age. I mean, other players back then, they weren't doing it. And don't get me wrong, I think we alluded to that earlier as far as like physicality has changed, things of that nature throughout the game. So
that wouldn't have been as mess with LeBron. And in Jordan's game, he could have played at any time.
Yes.
Anytime LeBron, and they wouldn't be able to stop him. Like they couldn't stop Wilt. I've kind of gained a new respect for Wilt Chamberlain and who he really was in the game.
People, you know what I mean? Not give him enough credit
at all. I mean, I think we tend to kind of shit on his name a little bit because we'd never seen him play. I never tried to chance, but I watched some clips of him. I mean, this dude was a monster.
He is unreal. He was unreal.
He had a little jumper and everything. I'm like, this dude got a little jumper and everything.
You couldn't stop it. You can't stop it.
Athletic, out of this world, strong as an ox, could do anything. I mean, he was one of those type of dude. He could play it at any time. in any time frame and killed them. You know, I mean, I think people we tend to not look at a lot of these players from back in the day and put them on the list because we've never seen them play. You got, you know, but I think that he's one of them that was just a beast. But when it comes to like the Jordan and LeBron argument, I'm always gonna be for LeBron because I just feel like, don't get me, I like Jordan though too, man. I do, but I don't feel like Jordan had a shorter prime and a shorter run than what LeBron ended up having. You know what I mean? But during that time frame, he was that. He you know, he was really, you know, that right there of a character. And I think Jordan, if you want to talk about cockiness and everything else,
Jordan,
he was that.
That is Jordan.
Yeah, you know, you can't, you know, no one's mad, no one's faulting him for that because he came out and he performed and he showed you that this, you know, I am really who I say I am.
Oh yeah.
And so how's everything else going with you as far as?
You know, it's going pretty good, man. I got the UFC coming on today. Excited about that. Got a couple big fights on that one coming up. Have a couple parlays I'm gonna be doing today, so it's gonna be good.
Who do you got going for? I don't know much about the UFC. I'm not gonna sit here. I'm gonna hold you, but I definitely want you to go ahead and tap in and give us a little breakdown on the UFC.
So the UFC has a
today.
couple big fights today. There's a couple big fights, and I wouldn't say like huge fights or anything like that, like big names, but there's 2 title fights today. It's a pay-per-view, which always means something. You know, they all want to fight on the pay-per-views. Big money day for them. Big chance for extra bonuses, which means people are going to be going for knockouts or submissions a little bit more than normal. Maybe, you know, more output from certain people, which is huge to me. For the UFC, I got in the main event, Della Medellina. He's a plus 163 today, and he's a knockout guy. He's won by 12 times knockout, or I'm sorry, 10 knockouts already in his career. Dude's good. Okay. Got heavy hands. He's facing the guy who likes to wrestle a little bit, not as powerful. I do think he knocks him out in the main event. But taking a money line just to win by decision or whatever, that it's plus 163. You know, you can't beat that. You
Absolutely.
know,
what's their record looking like? You know.
Yes. So Bilal Muhammad's 24-3. JDM is 17-2. So they're both very, very good athletes. One guy's just more powerful to me and can really take advantage of the fight. He's more technical as far as striking. His stand-up game is a lot more polished. If you really go back and look at it. So I like him. Plus, he's out of New Zealand. He's training with these top guys as far as Izzy and Duplessis, people like that. He's training over there with these guys. So I do think his stand-up game is going to be a lot more polished than Muhammad. So I think he takes it.
Okay. Who else you got?
You know, they have the co-main event. You got a lady that trains up here in the Pacific Northwest, even though she's not from here, in Valentina Shevchenko. She's facing Furio. That's a lady out of France. She's 12-1. She's the favorite. The favorite in this fight's actually the lady who's going against the title holder. So she's supposed to be the underdog, but not really. She's a minus 125. I think that's good money right there, to be honest with you. She should be favored by more. The only reason she's not is because she's the challenger. So I would take her in a heartbeat. I think Valentina is a GOAT in the MMA game without question. But she's on a downward part of her career, in my opinion. I think she's on the back end of it. I think she's had the bigger days in his career or in her career in the past.
Has she taken L's? Has she been taking L's lately?
Yeah, well, she faced Alexa Grasso in the last 3 fights. They just had a trilogy. And Alexa's more of a not a stand-up fighter. She's more of I'm a ground and pound you. I'm going to try and take you down. I'm going to try and control the fight. That's what she's been training for the last couple of years. So I think training for this lady is going to be a little bit different, man. This woman can really stand up. She can bang with you. She's more of a technical striker. Valentina's more of a control woman. And then she kind of plans for head kicks. Her leg kicks and kicking game is very, very good. But now she's playing somebody who's just as good as she is.
Who won the trilogy? If you don't mind me asking, who won the trilogy?
She did. Valentina won. Actually, they tied. It's 1-1-1. There was a draw in there as well. So to me, they still have to fight again. Alexa is actually fighting on this card tonight, and I don't think she wins her fight either. She's fighting Natalia Silva, who is a minus 260, which is a good sprinkle on a parlay if you're looking to put her on a parlay. If you're looking for another filler, I would definitely put her. Minus 260. She's a better fighter. I don't think it's close, to be honest with you. She's an up-and-comer compared to Grasso, who's had her day already. I don't think it's going to end well for her either.
Wow, that's an interesting card already, kind of building up to be. Is that the full card there?
Well, it's interesting, man. They have it in Canada, so they have a couple of Canadian fighters. I have everything written down here. I'll go through it real quick with you. So you're starting off with Brad Katona versus Almacan. Almacan's 11-2. Look, Katana's tough, man. He's a very tough fighter. He's never been finished before, and Almacan has such big, heavy hands.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to finish him, but I think it's pretty safe to take the money line, and it's minus 155. There's good money there. I think that's an automatic bet, to be honest with you. If you're looking for some guarantee to put on a parlay filler, again, that's one that I would put on there in Alcamon. He's finished 10 of his 11 fights. I think there'd be worth a sprinkle to put on KO because it's plus 375. So that's enticing to me, but I think the money line's a safer bet. You know what I'm saying?
Has he been knocking people out his last few fights, or what's been going on?
He's only won 11 fights. He's 11-2, right? But his 10 of his 11, he's won 9 by KO and 2 by submission. The kick a fight. Yeah. So and plus he's coming from overseas. A lot of these guys from the Middle East and Russian countries are really coming out now. I think this guy's going to take over pretty quickly in this fight. Plus his lone loss in the UFC, he just lost to Umar Nurmagomedov, who just lost for the title in his last fight to Dashvili, who can just wrestle you to death. So the fact that that's his only loss is huge for me. This shouldn't be kicking off the card, but it is. It's going to be a really fun fight, but I think Alcamon wins pretty easily in this fight. Okay. Then you got Danielle Santos versus Yong Lee. 11-2 is Lee, 12-2 is Santos. Lee looks good at minus 120 to me. I think he should be way more of a favorite than that. Santos hasn't really fought in almost 2 years in the UFC. He missed weight this week by about 4 pounds. Lee struggles against pressure fighters, right? I've watched him fight a couple times. He struggles against pressure guys. He lost his last fight against a pressure guy. But I don't think Santos is going to come in here with a full gas tank either to be able to do that. So I think that's easy money as well, putting Lee on there at minus 120. I'm going to do it. Follow me if you're willing. But that's the guy for me on this one. I think that's the automatic of this fight card. And to me, it's crazy that the line is what it is. Okay, yeah, and definitely all this is just suggestions. We're not saying that, of course, go and do your own research. Do not follow us, as being like we're not gurus, but we're definitely giving our opinions that are based off of things that we're seeing. So, but I think these are good opinions right here. You've obviously done your research. You understand. Yeah. I've actually trained with a couple of these guys in the past, so it's kind of fun. Yeah, man, being able to see a couple of these guys fight, like Marc-Andre Barriault versus Bruno Silva. Barriault's 16-9, Silva's 23-12. This is an ugly ass fight, if I'm being honest. This should not be a UFC fight, in my opinion, anymore. Why do you think they threw it on here for? Barriault's on a 3-fight losing streak. Silva's on a 4-fight losing streak. Barriault's a very high output fighter, more technical to me. But the fact that this is in Canada is the only reason that this fight's happening, because Barriault's from Canada. Silva, to me, is an easy win for him. I think Barriault should take this at minus 170. Okay. Just his cardio is going to come into effect a lot more than Silva, I think, as the round progresses. Sorry, some sound picks right there, man. I'm definitely might have to snipe a couple of those off you here. I'm trying to turn some of my luck around here that I've been having with these NBA games. So I got the whole card ready. Okay, I say you're ready to go. What time the fight start tonight? I think 3:30 is when they start. It's in Quebec. I'm pretty sure Montreal. I can't remember what city it's in, but it's in Canada today. So it should be a good one. Like I said, the main events: JDM versus Bilal Muhammad. Co-main would be Valentina versus Ferro, and then Jose Aldo's fighting on this card too. So it's gonna be a fun card. Plus he's fighting a guy that's from up there. I think he should win pretty easily. Aldo's a favorite at minus 195. I think it should be way more than that. His output on this guy is so much different. I think maybe they're scared that he's going to get knocked out because of his chin. I don't think that's going to be a problem in this one. His output and his pressure is just going to put way too much pressure on this other guy. I think he's going to break pretty quickly.
Okay. Okay. It sounds like you, like I said, it sounds like you've done your research. I'm definitely going to take a couple of these fights that you've talked about right now. You know what I mean? See if I can strike a couple of dollars out of this for myself.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I will, always push for everyone else. Do your research, but check out what we're definitely saying. We'll definitely be back next week.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, listen, look at this guy right here. Say anything. This guy will say anything right here, won't he? Hey, we don't want to talk about my team versus your team. I think you're a Seahawks fan. We don't want to do that.
I think the Seahawks might win 5 games this year, man. Let's not talk too much.
Quite possibly 5. That quarterback is. You guys. I think that you guys traded out a decent quarterback for somebody who's shown us that he can't. Man, he got Justin Jefferson, man. You got a good receiving core, a solid team, and you couldn't even win.
Exactly.
But now this is you guys' start. This is your, that's your king now. That's your king now. That's who you guys picked up. What Darnold? Come on, man. That was a bad move.
Wasn't too impressed with that, man. I know he did good on the Vikings. That was supposed to be. What's funny about it is it was supposed to be a rebuilding year for the Vikings, right? Last year, and he played well above his expectation, or really above his level, to be honest with you, of what normally he would play at, because of the weapons that he had, right? So once they got to the playoffs, they threw it because he's not that guy. So getting him, I don't think that's a good pickup by any means. I think that's a point A to point B guy.
What about the Cooper Kupp pickup? Not the. What do you think about that? Like, for that team?
I don't mind that either. I don't mind Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp has a lot of upside to him. He has great hands. He runs really, really precise routes from what I can see. So I do think that's a good pickup. I think he's going to add some positivity to that wide receiver room. I don't think it's going to be anything negative. I don't think he causes a downgrade.
They lost to. I mean, they got Baldwin. I think they cut him. And then you had what's the guy's name? DK Metcalf. He's over in that was your stud, really, pretty much right there was DK. That was your guy.
Cooper steps into the number 1 role pretty quickly to me.
I mean, what's the other guy's name from Ohio State? I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's good though.
He's good.
He's a solid. You think he steps right in over that kid?
I think based off of his veteranship, yes. I think it gives him somebody to learn off of and learn the route tree, learn how to run certain things, because it does change. College to pro is very different.
Definitely.
No matter where you go, arena, NFL, wherever. It's the speed of the game is so different. You have to get used to it. So I think if he has the right veterans in front of him, I think they're going to push him to that number 1 spot pretty quickly. But to start off with, I'd put Kupp,
That's a big. I mean, even with some of the injuries that he's had lately, but Kupp's he's a good route runner. He's a solid receiver. I don't think the Seahawks they're not even a competitive team this year at all.
Not even a little bit.
I think everyone knows. I think that's we all kind of understand it.
When they got Milroe, I realized that too.
They picked up Milroe, man. To me, man, I've watched Milroe play. He got benched this year.
Yes.
During the season. In college, you got benched
at Alabama,
where you got, where you got all day to throw the ball. You just cannot complete a basic route. That's just what it boils down to. You can have you can throw the ball 100 yards if you want to, but if you cannot complete a 7-yard, slant pattern.
You had the right comparison earlier, actually, when you said it with Jamarcus Russell. To be honest with you, I don't know if he can really read the defense just yet, or be in the right spots, or really have the right timing with the routes or anything. I don't know if he could do that yet.
There's just there's a lot of these kids that are just like highly. I mean, we'll see it. We'll see if Dart is the same kind of player or not. He's a big, athletic, strong kid as well too. But there's a lot of these kids that just cannot throw basic patterns. They just can't do it. The timing routes, you can't throw them, and that's what moves the chains. And they don't. And just to me, he doesn't have it. I see the guy Richardson over in for the Colts. He can't throw the ball to save his life.
Well, these quarterbacks nowadays, they don't. It's like you alluded to just now, right? If you think about Breeze, Brady, Rodgers, Manning, Elway, Montana, any of the big names, right? If you think about how they threw the ball and where they were successful, it was spot passes, right? Absolutely. They were throwing the ball to a spot because they knew where their person was going to be at all times, right? They knew their offense. I don't think a lot of these guys know their offense to where they can actually throw to a spot. They're throwing to a player almost every single play, which isn't how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to throw it to a spot typically, especially if you're talking intermediate out routes, corner routes, digs, things like that. They're supposed to be at a certain point. That's why you see these linebackers and safeties doing these little shove things, right? To where they're trying to throw the receiver off that route, even the timing off by half a second. It ruins the whole play. I don't think these quarterbacks can do that anymore. The game has changed completely to where that's almost not even a thing.
Yeah, you got a few young quarterbacks coming in who are just pro ready. I didn't really realize that Jaden McDaniel was going to be what he was going to be, like being as pro ready as he was. I mean, especially when you go to a team like the Redskins, I want to say the Rebels, excuse me. What are they? Commanders.
Yeah.
So, I mean, going to a team like the Commanders, you don't really see.
No,
they're pretty much where quarterbacks go to die, and for him to have turned that around speaks volumes about what kind of caliber of quarterback he is. I mean, he's an elite level right now, elite level quarterback from what we've seen in season 1. He wins. He can go out and win the big game.
Daniels may be the face of the league in the future if he keeps on that level. That's different. Like you haven't seen that from a rookie. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of readiness.
You can't say anyone. I can't think of anyone. Not even not even Roethlisberger when he first came in. That was defense really on their part.
Yes, exactly.
I don't see anyone who's done what he's done at that age.
It's super impressive watching that last year. And don't get me wrong, you saw him play in the playoffs, and you're like, okay, he doesn't have help yet to get to this next level.
None. I don't think Deebo Samuels is the type of help that he needs either. I'm like, why'd you go get this dude? Let's spend all this money to get him. Go get some people that matter. Go get some defender. Go get some defense that matters. I could have got the guy from Cleveland. There was a guy from Cleveland. I forget his name as well right now. They could have had him. He was a free agent this year. Could have picked him up. They should spend some money, man. Go get some guys and get some players.
They got to get somebody around him. They have to build a team around this guy because that's your face now. That guy is now taking over that city, as far as I'm concerned. You have to build a team that can help that guy and get him to the next level. I mean, obviously nobody's beating Philly right now, in my opinion, but
Philly's team was built to beat KC.
Yes,
was built to beat them by far. They
were built to beat the brakes off of them, much less built them.
It was almost like the Giants, how they were built to beat the Patriots. They had speed rushers that were going to come in and get in there fast. And that's all they did was rush from the edges, speed rushers from the edges. You know what I mean? And it worked. And it worked against Mahomes because he doesn't have anybody
blitz at all.
Yeah.
There was no blitzing. They literally just beat him with 4 linemen.
Yeah, but quality and poor quality line because you knew that these two you knew they had speed over the defenders who were trying to block them. They just had the speed, and he couldn't get. They beat the out of them, bro. It was crazy, man. It was bad. It was a bad.
It was awful. I mean, I won money. Don't get me wrong. I was happy, but it was. Whew.
I knew that whole entire game that I told everybody during the season. I said, they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
this is the team right here to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, Saquon was their missing piece.
Yep,
that was it. I mean, now you got Jalen Hurts who could now you got 2 big backs basically in the backfield that you can't stop.
Yep. I'm looking at. I mean, Hurts was a piece that I didn't know what he was going to do. I'm like, okay, who are you going to show up as? But he showed you exactly who he is as a quarterback. He's a businessman, but he's better than Russ was.
He's a winner.
Yeah, straight up.
He's just a winner. He was a winner at Alabama. Then they benched him at Alabama. He went to Oklahoma, took them to the Final Four. Like, I'm like, man, the guy just wins.
And that's a big thing right there. I think that's character. You know what I mean? He's the type of person you can have in the game, and you always feel like you got a chance to win. Even though he's not the most athletically gifted quarterback, you're not mentioned a lot of times in the top quarterback conversation, and he probably should be.
I think it's crazy that he's not at this point.
Most people would want to put Allen. Josh Allen don't get me wrong, but he froze up those last 2 plays against you. We saw it. He was given the opportunity to go win the game, and he threw the ball in the dirt over and over again. You showed me exactly kind of not who you are, because not the totality of your entire career, but where you're at right now. You kind of showed everybody who you were as like, okay, you're not Mahomes. You're not that elite level quarterback that's going to go out and make it happen. And Mahomes is not even. I mean, they're going to have to go get him some help as well.
Mahomes is doing this right now.
No help though. They basically said we're going to field the same
Zero.
exact team. We're going to see what happens with you. You know what I mean? You know, and so I think that we got to kind of give it. I mean, he hasn't had an elite level receiver in how long?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? They're pretty much saying, hey, we're going to give you Travis Kelce again. He's about 40. You know what I mean? He's about 40 years old. He can't run, or he can run good routes, but he can't get away from anyone to save his life.
He ain't worried anymore. He's dating the biggest singer in the world. He's good for life.
Yeah, he's pretty much ready to go. He got the podcast going. He's getting his money.
Man. Done.
They shouldn't have gotten. I mean, me personally, I think they should have kept Cheetah.
Yeah,
they should have kept him, man.
Same thing.
Yeah, you know what I mean, pay him his money. Let him in, because those two right there, that's all day for him. You could put anyone else with him that you know, they got Xavier Worthy.
They tried what's his name, Valdez Scantling in that role too, and he wasn't even close. Like that's a huge difference between that.
I mean, you won a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, they've won Super Bowls. I think people called them out, the league out so much that the league had to like ref the games like more fairly against KC, because everyone called the league out so badly, like because they were showing clear, you know, bias towards KC. You know, even though I was betting on KC most games. You know what I mean? So it's understandable. I didn't bet on them for the Super Bowl. Sure. I already knew they were going to lose that. I'm like, man, you guys don't have anybody. This team is stacked with killers. Everywhere you look, defense, offense, they're ready to go. You know, and so I knew that was going to be put the house on. Put the house on it with that one. That was a easy W right there. I mean, most people didn't think you can. It was hard to go against Mahomes, because Mahomes is a winner, man.
Yeah,
he's Tom Brady. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's our generation's Tom Brady. I feel like he's on a schedule to be greater than Tom Brady.
He can be, but they have to get him help, man. They
gotta get him help. They got to do it. I mean, there's no other way around that. I'm not sure what they're.
I respect the leadership, though. They gave them the opportunity to continue to play together until they lost, but now it's time. You gotta rebuild it almost around him at this point, to me, or get a couple pieces.
Get a few receivers. All they really need is a couple receivers. That's all they really need. You know what I mean? I think they got a decent running back.
They dropped so many balls in the playoffs last year. It was scary.
I mean, go get yourself. They should have. Why aren't? I mean, I understand you don't want to put your money into it, but him with, imagine a DK Metcalf over there with him. You know what I mean? Because DK gonna listen to him. Yep. He's gonna. I mean, the thing of a DK listened to Russell.
Yep.
Because Russell was a proven winner. He was a proven leader. You know, he didn't probably respect Geno Smith as much at all. No, there's really no reason for him to respect Geno Smith. Like, man, just shut up and throw me the ball. You know, but you go play with Mahomes, you're going to respect the gravity of the situation with Mahomes and Andy Reid, the leadership, the proven track record. You're going to respect that.
Well, there's something to be said, right? If you show up and they go, hey, you want one of these? You're going to listen. Okay. Yeah. If you want to do things your way, we're not going to win one of these. We want to win you one of these. Get in line. Let's go.
Absolutely. And you know you're going to get the ball in the spots where you're going to get 100 catches a year dealing with Mahomes. I mean, because DK's, man, he's probably, he's top 4 receiver in the league.
Oh yeah,
easy. I mean, and of course you got your Chase, you got your Jefferson.
You
know, you got a couple other guys, but DK is up there. You know what I mean? So the DK's there.
Oof.
Who'd you say?
Jamar Chase. Oof.
Yeah, man. He's a beast, man.
You can name really any player from 2019 LSU team. Just saying.
Yep. Burrow. I mean, you got everybody. I mean, so it's going to be a hell of a season this year, man. I can't wait till the season starts. That's really where the money's at. Don't get me wrong. You know, I'm saying money in baseball and everything else too, but football, man. Yeah, I've had some of my best wins of the season came from football, man. All bullshit aside, but yeah, man. Let's go ahead and call it a day, man. We'll definitely get back to this again this week. I appreciate you dialing in with me, man. And let's chop it up and get back to it again, man. This is Plays and Parlays. I am Wesley, and this is Louisiana T. Thank you guys for joining in.